is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Hey, Daddy, this a dollar beat.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
No matter what nobody say, man, spirit, can't nobody fuck with me, man. You know, I can't be fucked with, you know.
Beyonce Productions.
Whether you pay to see me win, or you pay to see me lose, you're gonna pay. Fuck it, your kids still gotta eat. I don't have to watch, you know, any footage of a fighter.
The people. Let's get ready.
I knew eventually I was gonna have to fight Oscar, but I feel like he was straight up and down, no special effects.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
How can Canelo have the biggest deal? Your deal is for 300 million, and I made 350 million just in one fight. And you're fighting on the app.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
I'm a king, okay? I eat a feast. Every time I eat a feast. And when I get up from the table, I don't give a fuck who get the leftovers. At the end of the day, follow my green print.
Beyonce Productions.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Wilder also told ESPN that he would execute a clause in his contract for a third fight with Fury, hopefully sometime this summer. So it looks like the rematch will happen.
Molly, that's only if Fury also agrees. Fury has to also agree to the rematch.
And thank you. Clearly, that's an important detail.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs, joined alongside absolutely no one. Solo Dolo Scarface without Manolo. It's going down. We're going to have Bob Arum on the line, and we should be having special guest Ken Porter on the line as well. So, yeah, man, we're going to be discussing Max Kellerman revealing that it's not as simple as Wilder activating the rematch clause. Tyson Fury still has to agree and accept it. I did not know that. That's why I reached out to Bob. I want to know, is that common? I thought when you had a rematch clause, it was automatic. And, if it's up to Fury to accept it, well, then what's stopping him from going to do the unification fight with Anthony Joshua, or what's stopping him from, just doing whatever he wants? So I really don't get what kind of rematch clause this is, where the loser invokes it, but the winner gets the ultimate decision. People saying, oh, well, you're doing this as if Fury wouldn't accept it. Well, I'm not worried about Fury accepting it, but I am worrying about possibly other things. I mean, I can see other things come into play that make him go a different route. I don't know, mandatory with Dillian White, unification with AJ. I don't know, something with Big Baby now that Big Baby is signed to Top Rank. So many things could happen, and that's why I'm asking, and I want to talk to Bob, see exactly how this rematch clause works. But yeah, sorry for the long pause. Just shooting some texts out, making sure we got all our guests in order, and things can happen. We're waiting on the good old Ken Porter or Bob Arum to just call us up. Both are extremely busy, so we're always grateful for their time and the fact that they come on to the show. But yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. We should be having the promoter of Tyson Fury, Bob Arum, on the line, so that we can find out about this rematch clause, and we can find out about the fact that it is, Tyson that has to accept it. So much was being made of the loser accepting, the rematch clause or invoking the rematch clause, but now all of a sudden we're hearing that the winner has to accept, which I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. why put a rematch clause then? But basically, it's a new negotiation. If you're waiting around for the winner to accept. So I don't know. Interesting. You know. But yeah, man, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show. Let me cut on out and try and get Ken Porter on the line here. Give you back some guys some music to listen out to. We're gonna rock out to one of TBV's intros here while we wait. See what we got. Need a long one for you. Need a long one. Let's pick. See, oh, that's Mikey's intro. Let's do that.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
4 division world champion Mikey Garcia.
Young boy's like fucking 39, 40 years old.
DVRC Productions.
2 division world champion Jesse Vargas.
Honestly, well, who has he fought?
Guerrero v. Guerrero is a great fight.
Kansas hasn't been fighting anything.
In an all-action Mexican fight, I think he's going to light up the fans in Texas and also live on Dazn. Brilliant fighters and a fight that can only go one way, which is one of pure excitement.
Hasn't been active. Anybody will tell you that. You know, it's not going to be an easy fight. I don't think it's an easy fight. I don't take easy fights. In fact, there were fights that I turned down because I felt they were too easy. I want to have a challenge. I want to have something that can really push me, that can really motivate me and excite me. And Jesse Vargas does that. I'm going to bounce back. I'm going to show everybody that there's...
What up? Welcome back. All right, so we're just waiting, man. I thought I was going to get him. Looks like both are not answering. So watch how show business is. They're both going to call me back at the same time. Who wants to bet that? I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. And then I reached out to Sugar Hill, but it looks like he might be on a flight because, them Texas coming up green. So once he lands, maybe we'll be able to get something hammered out with him and scheduled. So we're talking Max Kellerman revealing that there is more to the rematch clause than just Deontay Wilder invoking it.
Wilder also told ESPN that he would execute a clause in his contract for a third fight with Fury, hopefully sometime this summer. So it looks like the rematch will happen.
Molly, that's only if Fury also agrees. Fury has to also agree to the rematch.
And thank you. Clearly, that's an important detail.
Very important detail. Something that we didn't know. We thought it was just as simple as the loser invoking it. What's to stop Fury from doing anything else? He could feel like he's already beaten Wilder twice, and why fight him again? The money for the AJ fight could entice him. I don't know. This is very interesting, and that's why we're scheduled to have Bob Arum on the show. So we're just waiting, and as a side treat, we're trying to get Ken Porter on as well. Yeah, man. Just working, man. Just working. I was as soon as we finished the morning show, we noticed that Max had released this information, and it's just like, okay, so it's a lot more than just Wilder wanting his rematch. You know, Fury still has to accept, and I wonder what other details Bob is going to give us if we ever get him on the show. Here in the next few minutes, because. Does Fury get to pick location? We're hearing also October, September. We heard Bob change things up a little bit now. They're talking October, September instead of June and July. So, interesting, all the information that's shaken out. Listen, Stephen A. Smith and Molly, even Max, were not pleased with Wilder and his excuses for the loss, but that shouldn't affect the rematch, or could it? Because I was giving that some thought. Is Fury gonna get upset now that Max is saying, yo, it's up to Fury to accept? Is Fury gonna get upset and say, well, Wilder isn't losing gracefully, and he's making up excuses and he's taking away from my victory. I'm not gonna give that guy a rematch. So, yeah, man, if I'm Wilder, you got to be careful what you say and do moving forward, because, if it is up to Fury, well, then, he's got the ball in his court, really, and it's his decision ultimately. Even though the information for this long has been that the loser gets to invoke the rematch, it's looking like Fury has ultimately, is still ultimately going to be the person to decide upon that rematch. So listen, I'm going to open up these phone lines while we're waiting for Bob or Ken Porter to come on the show. So yeah, in the meantime, so that we don't get a bunch of ahs and we don't have a bunch of dead air, let's go out to the callers. You know the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time to voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget to add Nestor Gibbs on Skype. That's 1-425-569-5241.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
It is hard to continue developing new content and covering the sport as thorough as we do without contributions from loyal listeners like you. If you enjoyed listening to the Boxing Voice Radio and find it informative and entertaining, please consider making a donation.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
All right. Let's go out to Civilian 11. What up?
Hey, sorry. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, that was some interesting information coming from Max. Bob Arum has done several interviews that I've watched, and he hasn't said anything about that thus far. So it'd be great if he could come on the line and kind of, give some concrete facts about, what's going to go on and where they're at. But man, this is a good example for the younger boxers and promoters to not play around, get the best fights done, because you can lose and be in the twilight zone after one fight.
Your destination will be on the left.
Yeah,
that's
man.
all I gotta say.
Nah, I totally agree, man. It seemed like the rematch was ironclad, and we had to have a third fight. But, immediately after the fight, we had Frank Warren talking about unification. Even though later he came out and said that Shelley contacted him about the rematch, he was immediately talking unification. And then, we got Eddie coming out. Now we hear this. It's just, a lot of information to take in and a lot to speculate and wonder about and assume is all I can think of. But let me go out to what looks like East LA 626. Who's this? First time caller?
TVV, this is Big Drew out of the City of Angels.
Big Drew, what it do?
Yo, man, I'm an American. I root for the free man, but I could never get fully behind Wilder because that man don't know how to box. And I always took it kind of disrespectful over the years as he started to embrace the fact that he don't need to know how to box because he got that great right hand. So I'm kind of glad that he got thoroughly whooped, even if it is by a Brit, by a true boxer, somebody who put in those years, And also, man, Fury and Wilder now, they fought 19 rounds. How many rounds has Wilder won of those 19? I give him 4, and that's being generous. Is that worthy of a third fight?
No problem.
Hello?
Look, is it about worthy? Did you think AJ was worthy of a rematch when Ruiz kicked his ass the way he did? No one thought AJ would even be able to bounce back. So that's why you have the rematch, because people doubt you.
But I understand. I mean, Wilder's been an underdog his whole life. I understand all that, but there's a lot more competition. There's a lot more. I think Wilder needs to take the year off. I agree a lot with Ronnie Shields. You know, that man's a legend, first ballot Hall of Famer to be. But I think that Fury should take this time to make Wilder earn it. You know what I mean? I'm tired of seeing the same 2 fights for 2 years. You know, AJ Ruiz, and then Fury Wilder for a third fight. Come on, man. We got more options out there to mix it up. Heavyweight's the best it's ever been in at least 20 years. But you guys gotta. That wasn't the full clip from Max Kellerman. You guys gotta listen to Stephen A's take on that. I 100% agree. But that is the most embarrassing.
Yeah, but Stephen A. Smith, his take has nothing to do with the rematch clause. That's why I didn't clip it. You know, Stephen A. Smith is talking about the excuse, which is an episode that we already, discussed a little bit earlier. I was taking the context of Mac's statement for this particular show because a lot of us were led to believe that the rematch was automatic, and it doesn't sound that way after listening to Max Kellerman. So I scheduled an interview with Bob Arum. I mean, we were supposed to be live at least by 1:40 with Bob. Obviously, he's a busy man with a lot of plans and a lot of, deals to close. But he should be on. If we can stay live long enough to have his schedule clear up, he should be on. Ken just texted me. He's also on another call, so he should be calling in as well. We'll keep taking callers. Before I get to the next caller, you know the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget, you can hit that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show. It helps us continue to get these big-name guests to bring you better audio entertainment.
Wilder also told ESPN that he would execute a clause in his contract for a third fight with Fury, hopefully sometime this summer. So it looks like the rematch will happen.
Molly, that's only if Fury also agrees. Fury has to also agree to the rematch.
And thank you. Clearly, that's an important detail.
Going out to our ringer in North Carolina. What's going on, Josh? Talk to us.
What up, Ness? My phone. What up, Ness? Hey, man, this for real, bro? Like, you gotta accept that? Like, I thought it would be automatic. Yo, I want a rematch. All right, let's get it on. That's crazy.
That's what I thought, bro. This is breaking news to me.
Yeah, man, I don't know why they would do that. But you know what, bro? I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, Fury. He can be devilish and dirty. But at the same time, man, if he don't accept it, that means one thing. I think Wilder will be probably 1 or 2 in all the other sanctioning bodies. So shit. If not, he might have to pay for it. But either way, my boy gonna get another title shot. Hey man, keep doing your thing, Ness, man. This is a second show today, bro. Within like 3 hours, bro. Y'all like, share, and subscribe this, man. Show this man support, man. He doing his damn thing, man. He bringing this to us. He don't have to do this. For real, man. I respect that, bro. Salute to you, man. I'm out.
All right, Josh. Thanks for calling in, man. Yeah, I don't have to do it, but I definitely love doing it. So, it doesn't bother me. You guys love to listen to boxing. I love to talk to boxing. So it works out perfectly. We're going to Zorro, ATL. What up?
What's going on, man? I think Wilder making that this rematch, he already knows what's in the contract. I don't really think Max knows the extent of their contract. He may be just saying that for the TV show, but if Wilder's going to execute the rematch, I think it's already written down that he can get that rematch. I agree with Ronnie from earlier. I got to catch a little bit of the show, but I agree with Ronnie, man. He might need to kind of fall back a little bit, work on some stuff before he goes and climbs back in that ring, because I don't know how that affected him mentally. Not from the physical standpoint, he could heal up from that, but I don't know how that affected him mentally. But for that rematch clause, I don't know if Max really knows the full extent of what those guys' contract was. So he probably will get the fight whenever. But that's it right there, man.
All right. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just saying
All right. Oh, no. But I just think that, when it comes to that contract, they probably had all that built in, that trilogy built in. It was definitely the like how Pacquiao and Marquez was with all of those fights. Those two right there. If Wilder can come back and beat Fury again, or beat Fury, then that's this era's like that type of 3 fights or 4 fights, and then they can go ahead and knock.
Zorro, man, thanks for calling in. All right, looks like we got Caesar, Las Vegas. Talk to me. What up?
Hello? Yo. Yeah, so it's kind of like the last caller was saying, I don't know either if Max knows the full details of the contract, and the only way that I would picture that being a part of the contract is if Wilder's team did that contract with like them in their mind, like there's no way we could lose, you know, and like basically putting it so they have the option to accept the rematch if Fury would have lost. You know, do you know what I'm saying? And with that, then yeah, it makes sense if they put that in the contract. But I don't think that's a very smart. Like, come on, like if there was a chance that Wilder would lose, which he did, why would they just leave it up to Fury for a rematch? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't think that's all the way true. But then again, at the end of the day, I mean, the truth will come out eventually.
All right. Caesar, man, thanks for calling in. We're going out to Dove, man, in Michigan. Talk to me.
What's going on, Nuts, man? Thanks for the show. You know what I mean? Appreciate what you're doing out here. But how I feel about it is, even with the rematch clause or whatever, Wilder just got his ass whooped. I don't know. You got to tell me, did he officially fire Mark Breland or not? Because I saw it on I read it on the YouTube article.
Nah, he didn't fire. People just taking it. You know, he said he's upset with Breland. So far, he has not been fired. So, you know, people just running with the headline like, oh, he's gonna sack him. They doing everything they can. You know, they want headlines. They want hits.
Yeah, but I read the article on Yahoo Sports, so I don't know if it was true or not.
Yeah, but the article on Yahoo doesn't say he fired him.
Oh, all right, true. All right, well, I'm like this. After he took that whooping like that, I'm a Wilder fan. Now, if he would have just came out and said, "Hey, man, you know what? I lost, but I'm gonna go back and get better, and I want my rematch." But after taking a whooping like that and then making excuses, go ahead on, let the Gypsy King and AJ unify, then make your play to try to get the whole undisputed. You see what I'm saying? Come back and get it, because right now, after that, I don't think he's ready for Fury again.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in. Dove, man, Michigan. Stand up. We got a lot of callers, man. Go ahead and just putting all these names in. I like to address everyone properly. But yeah, man, we're talking Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, the trilogy, and Max Kellerman insinuating, basically saying that it cannot happen unless Fury accepts, which is just a strange rematch clause for me. Like if the loser has a rematch and it's up to him to invoke it, why should Fury have to accept? I mean, obviously that is the logical thing, right? The obvious, like obviously Fury has to accept, but for Max to emphasize on it, it stuck out as weird to me because yes, ultimately, technically, Fury has to accept, but if there's a rematch clause, that means he's already accepted those terms. So just to have a secondary exception, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense to me. But hopefully Bob frees up. He's scheduled to be on the show, and he told us he would be on the show. He actually picked the time, so I'm hoping that, you know, whatever big deal he has going on, probably closing another big multi-million-dollar China deal, then he finds some time for this little podcast. And there he goes. He said he's ready to go. So let me just get him on really quick. God is good. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show. It's going to help us grow. It's going to help us continue to get, big time promoters like Bob Arum, who's promoted Evel Knievel, Muhammad Ali, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, a co-broadcasted pay-per-view with Fox and ESPN, a historical promoter, man. So, yeah, man, if you appreciate what it is that we're doing around here, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. Here's some music right at you so we could get up.
Hey, Daddy, this a dollar beat.
BoxingVoice.com.
No matter what nobody say, man. Spirit, can't nobody fuck with me, man. I can't be fucked with,
Dollar Beyonce Productions.
Whether you pay to see me win, or you pay to see me lose, you're gonna pay. Fuck it, your kids still gotta eat. I don't have to watch, any footage of a fighter. Because I'm Floyd Mayweather, everybody gotta watch me. I knew eventually I was gonna have to fight Oscar Nova. I feel like he was straight up and down, no special effects.
BoxingVoice.com.
How can Canelo have the biggest deal? Your deal is for $300 million, and I made 300.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live with world-renowned trainer, the man partially responsible, 50% responsible for doing the Wilder Fury on a co-broadcasted event with Fox Pay-Per-View and ESPN. The man to call that his fighter would get the knockout in the 7th round. Bob Arum, how are you? Thank you first and foremost for coming on the show and talking some boxing with us. How are you? What a weekend.
I couldn't be better, obviously. You do a good promotion, which we did with BBC. That makes you feel happy. But the best feeling is to be a winner and your man come through and win the title. That is an indescribable feeling.
Now, obviously, you knew it. You called the 7th round. What was it about that lucky number 7 that had you figuring Fury would get it done by stoppage?
Well, I knew how to fight, and we told everybody, they didn't believe us, what the game plan was. The game plan was to go out and jump on Wilder early, try to take him out. Well, Fury is so confident in his ability that he said that he would get it done by the 2nd round. I know that Wilder, you don't get rid of him that easy. So I figured the strategy was good, weaken him, and get him into the middle rounds, and then you can take him out. And I said, and if he couldn't do that, and we went into the later rounds, Wilder would be so exhausted and so debilitated that his famous right-hand punch wouldn't be worth anything. In other words, if the fight had continued, which would have been terrible because Wilder would have got, seriously hurt, in my opinion. If that fight had continued and went to the scorecard, that would have been possible because that was the strategy. Take him out. You're not going to take him out early. Take him out in the mid-rounds, and if you don't, coast to a victory. And that's how it played out.
Now, obviously, this was an unprecedented promotion. You had Super Bowl commercials. We had commercials at the gas station. Do you have any early numbers? Because I know that your prediction was 2 million pay-per-view buys.
Yeah. The early numbers that we have, frankly, I'll tell you, is only from the digital portals, from ESPN Plus and Fox Sports, their digital platform. Those numbers are enormous compared to what they've ever been. But again, until we get the cable numbers and the satellite numbers, we don't know where we are, because the question is, are these new buys, or are they cannibalize the cable buys and the satellite buys. That we won't know until we see that. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Something else I wanted to ask you. Obviously, Max Kellerman and the world are discussing the breaking news of Deontay Wilder's excuse. He's saying that the ring attire was 40 to 45 pounds, and he was told to wait with that outfit on for 10 to 15 minutes before the ring walk, then walking to the ring, walking up the stairs. He said it was a complete workout and his legs were shot by the second round. That's why we got that performance. Your thoughts?
Whose fault is it for wearing that kind of outfit? He's not an infant. Obviously, you put 40 pounds on anybody, no matter how big he is, and you have him wear those 40-pound outfit for an extended period of time. It's not going to rejuvenate him. It's going to hurt him. But whose fault is it? It's his fault. He shouldn't have, knowing he had a fight in front of him, worn that kind of outfit. But I tell you, it's not the outfit with the pounds that did him in. You saw that nonsense helmet that he was wearing that covered his whole face, that deprived him of oxygen as he was walking to the ring. That's, I think, did more damage than the heavy costume that he wore. In any event, he was not smart to have had anybody talk him into doing that. One thing you have to do, whatever kind of costume you want, is keep your face clear so you can breathe. Look at Tyson Fury. I mean, his entrance into the ring, sitting on a throne, meant that he didn't even have to walk from the dressing room to the ring. That was smart.
Fury definitely got royalty treatment getting brought out to the ring. So, Bob, now in this...
No, whoa. Go back. Fury came to me. Fury designs his own entrance. He told me what he was going to be doing, right? I said, Tyson, how much is it going to cost? He said, $60,000. I said, Tyson, I'm not paying it. He says, I don't expect you to pay it. I was planning on paying it myself. He paid for his own entrance. So the fact that he came on the throne, didn't have to walk, that was him. He designed his own entrance the same way that Deontay Wilder did. Designed it and paid for it.
So some more details from that interview that Wilder did with Lance Pugmire of LA Times and Yahoo Sports, Kevin Iole, and Dan Rayfield of ESPN. He said that he's extremely upset with Mark Breland, that there was conversations before during their time together about never throwing in the towel, and people are suggesting he may fire Mark Breland. Your thoughts?
If he fires Mark Breland, then he's an ungrateful man. Let me tell you, anybody who saw that fight knew that he was in serious trouble. He was getting pummeled without throwing back any punches. The referee was going to stop that fight anyway. I think Mark acted extraordinarily well, and he acted really the way a trainer should act. Protect your fighter. Mark Breland throwing in the towel at the point he did was completely and actually justified. And Deontay Wilder, when he realizes what happened, should have really compliment Mark Breland for the way he acted.
Now, obviously, after the fight, everyone has an opinion, much like they did for AJ. people are telling him, clean house, get rid of JD's. I mean, Ronnie Shields was on the show this morning. He said, JD's isn't a cut man. He isn't a trainer. He's never laced up the gloves. You got to get a whole new corner. Not remove Mark Breland, but have someone that Mark Breland can turn to if he needs some advice. He said that Breland has no one to turn to. What's your thoughts?
My thoughts are that the composition of his corner, Deontay Wilder's corner, is for Deontay Wilder to figure out. Deontay Wilder and Shelley Finkel, his manager, to figure out. And I'll leave it at that. Look what happened with my guy, Tyson Fury. I mean, his trainer was his best friend, Ben Davison. And when Tyson realized that he wanted to fight this fight differently, be more aggressive and so forth, he turned to the Kronk people that he knew, and Andy Lee, who was associated with Kronk for many years. They're both disciples, Sugar Hill, Stewart, and Andy Lee of the great, the late Emmanuel Stewart. So Tyson made the necessary adjustment. The adjustments that should be made now, only Deontay Wilder knows what kind of adjustments are called for.
Bob, what could you tell us about the trilogy? Is this going to happen?
All I can tell you is what I know, not what I imagine, not what I foresee, but what I know. And what I know is there is a contract in place which provides that a third fight can happen on the basis of the winner of Saturday night, Tyson Fury getting 60% and Wilder getting 40%. It also provides that Wilder, as the loser, has to decide within 25 days from the date of the fight whether he wants that immediate rematch. It's all up to Deontay. He can say, no, let Fury fight somebody else, I'll fight somebody else, and then all of this is up in the air. But the guy who holds the answer is Deontay Wilder. He can opt out of the fight now and get the fight down the line. He can go forward with the rematch now. That's his right, and it's up to him.
Wait, let me get this clear. So you would allow him, because you said he can opt out to get the fight down the line. Would you be willing to give him the fight later, or is that just, tongue-to-cheek, not on paper?
No, are you stupid? Are you stupid? Are you telling me, answer me that question? I mean, if Al Heyman, who represents this guy, if they decide that they want to fight later, you don't think it's going to be in writing and like another 10 pages?
Just making sure for the listeners, Bob. Rights? Just making sure for the listeners.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, nobody is talking about making empty promises and leaving it up in the air. This is a big business, and everything will be spelled out into the last detail. Now, of course, if Deontay Wilder wants to go ahead with the immediate rematch, then there's no further paperwork. It's done.
So now, Max Kellerman emphasized this morning on First Take that because Deontay already came out and in the media accepted the rematch in all these interviews that I told you he has already done. But then Max emphasized, he said, well, Molly, Deontay could accept the rematch, but Fury ultimately has to accept it. Is that how it works, or how exactly does it work? Because he put an emphasis.
That is totally incorrect.
Perfect.
If the loser, being Wilder, opts out, that's his business. If the loser, being Wilder, says, I want the immediate rematch, no no doubt Fury and Top Rank are bound by the existing contract, and that rematch happens immediately.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So
Now,
Fury, you understand, Fury and Top Rank have no say in this.
but Fury does have say in where it takes place, or is that, again, mutual decisions?
That is 3 places, 3 areas, place in 3 areas. Las Vegas, which Fury seems to love, California, and New York. And the 2 sides will decide on the basis of where it's most advantageous. But there's no option, I guess everything, if it's agreed to, but in other words, Fury can't say, well, let's do it in the United Kingdom. You can ask them, is it okay to do it? You can enhance the revenue, but you can't dictate. The only thing that's provided, and I'm telling you what the contract says, is it has to be a site in those 3 places, Las Vegas, New York, and California.
All right. And I seen in the media that you said maybe October, September now instead of June, July.
Well, again, this will all be sitting, if he wants the immediate rematch, he stays in Wilder. Then we have to decide, the contract says by mid-July, but it may be better to do it in September or October because the big stadium in Las Vegas, where the Raiders are going to play, would be open by then, and this could be the first fight in that magnificent facility.
And would you do it based on Mexican Independence Day, or it really just depends on the stadium?
Well, the last I knew that Wilder and Fury, who are admired by Mexicans, neither of them are Mexican. So we would leave Mexican Independence Day for our good friend Canelo Alvarez.
Nice. Okay. So, how easy was it to get this all done? Obviously, it's been, out in the media. All the headlines are that it's unprecedented, that it's historic. How rough was this to get done? Having a co-broadcast, coming together with PBC and Al Heyman. What would you say about this deal now that it's done?
It was all the stars aligned. Both networks wanted to do it. They have a history of working together. All the stars aligned. And this was the easiest, most cooperative promotion that I've ever experienced, where I had a major co-promoter. I must say there was no arguments. They stated different positions. We had positions, but it was all looking to maximize the revenue. So it was a very pleasant experience on our side, and I believe on their side.
Now, Bob, for the average boxing fan that knows that, Canelo did 1.3, let's say, with Triple G on HBO, or 1 point something with Chavez on HBO, how different should this number be with 2 major terrestrial channels coming together? Fox and ESPN?
Yeah, right. Well, we'll see. I think, but that's certainly a great point. I mean, I've been around for now 55 years, and the Super Bowl has taken place for well over 50 years. And there's never been a Super Bowl that had an advert commercial for a fight, ever, until this Super Bowl this year, which had 2 commercials. So, I mean, we're in a different era, and thanks to ESPN and Fox, boxing is back in the mainstream, and hopefully with the cooperation of promoters and doing great events and giving the public the best of boxing, boxing will once again be the major sport that it was when I first came into the business.
With this being so simple to put together the way you stated, how far off are we from Crawford and Earl? Does this give you any sort of inclination that that could happen because this went so well?
Well, it certainly seems to be a possibility, and believe me, it'll be discussed by both sides in the coming weeks. That doesn't mean it's going to happen right away, but we're going to discuss it.
Well, since we have you, before you tell me you got to run, what could we look forward to for your pound-for-pound star in the welterweight division, Terrence Bud Crawford, the WBO welterweight champion?
Well, we're working on a number of things with Crawford. We took a shot at Conor McGregor. I don't know if that happens. But we're in serious talks, at least on Terrence's side, for the possibility of fighting Manny Pacquiao in a unification match, or if that can't come to fruition, fighting Kell Brook.
Kell Brook was ringside.
In June or July.
Oh, that soon. Okay.
What?
Okay. Yeah, I said Kell Brook was ringside at the Wilder Fury.
Yeah, we had a talk with him and so forth, and that's being pursued.
And would it be a catch weight or would it be at 147?
No, he told me, listen, I want to fight for the title. I can make 147.
All right. Well, Bob, man, I'm sure I'm missing some stuff, but I don't want to take too much of your time. I want to thank you, obviously, for the time that we did get. Always a pleasure to have you on. Thank you for clearing up this Max Kellerman, Fury having to say yes and you saying the way that it really goes down.
Fury has nothing to say about it. Fury has nothing to say about it. Bob Arum has nothing to say about it. It's all up to Deontay Wilder.
But technically, Wilder or his team have to contact you, not just do interviews.
Yeah, absolutely correct. I mean, the interviews, I never take the interviews particularly seriously. There is a process where he informs us that he's in for the rematch. We sit down with Al Heyman, with Shelley, like we did before, and work out all the details, and we're off and running.
Bob, thank you once again for your time.
All right, don't forget, next time, talk to me about the big special that's coming out up this spring. Vasyl Lomachenko against Teofimo Lopez.
Do we got a date?
That's going to be something spectacular.
Do we have a date for that yet?
It's going to be the end of May. It's going to be the end of May. We'll have an announcement within a week.
All right. Well, there you go. I'll get you back on next week. Thank you once again, Bob. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Good talking to you.
World-renowned trainer Bob Arum. Thank you once again for your time. Now, that was a treat. Am I calling JD's? No, I'm not calling JD's. But I did reach out to Mark Breland. Did not answer. Read my text. Did not answer. So I get it, man. You got to lay low right now anyway. You don't want to say anything to ruffle the feathers. But this is my job to talk and discuss things with these guys, and see what we can get. And yes, I'll take that stupid. For everyone that had a good old chuckle, I would absolutely take that stupid because I took that stupid for the team. We need to hear that it's going to be on paper. Not that you can just say, yeah, he could take a tune-up and we'll still get the Fury fight, and then all of a sudden you don't. It has to be on paper. Then, hell yeah, if it's on paper, Wilder better take a tune-up. You know what I mean? Especially if they're talking trainer change. I'm not saying they are. This is all rumors that we've been, talking about throughout the day. But yeah, man, let me get on out to these callers. That was a fantastic interview. Very happy that we got that. We going out to Boomerang, Troy in Baltimore.
Master.
Troy.
Master.
Troy.
You forgot to do your sponsors.
Nah, I did that earlier. We went to callers before the interview because we were buying time.
Okay.
But thank you. Appreciate
Well, listen,
that.
right? Yeah. Well, listen. As impertinent as you are, you got to have some thicker skin. Stop timing me out, man. I find that so damn annoying. Stop timing me out. That's annoying.
So you think I got time to interview, take calls, write down names? I mean, monitor
It
the
said timed out by owner. It said timed out by owner. That's what I'm saying. You the owner, right?
You the owner. You the owner.
It said timed out by owner.
If you think I got time to, that's why I got mods for, bro. You wasting you just wasted 30 seconds on that. 22.
That's
20,
cool.
19,
That's cool, man. I'm glad there's a rematch, and
17.
and he's just gonna lose the third fight. You have a good day. And stop timing me out. I'm not a plaything.
Yo, Troy. I holla. What we got next, man? We went to Caesar. Kenny in Niagara Falls. What up?
Yeah, I knew Max Kellerman was a liar, man. I already knew that. He talking about, and yeah, Molly, that's only a Tyson Fury said. I'm like, I know Deontay Waters did give Tyson Fury leverage over his belt, and he ain't even lost yet. It's crazy. I knew it was a lie. I knew Deontay Waters was going to come back strong. People's champ. Bomb squad. It's my squad.
All right. We got Sid, Florida.
What up?
What up?
Hey, man. Yo, you can hear me?
I hear you.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, all that I wanted to say was, yeah, man, Max be lying. Max Kellerman be lying. And good, I like how you got Bob Arum on the line ASAP, but I ain't going to go into much opinion, man. Everybody liked the video. I'm out.
Sid, man, thanks for calling in. We going out to what looks like a new caller in Atlanta. First time caller? Atlanta. 770. 770. Going once. Atlanta. All right. Let's see what we got here. Another new caller in Cleveland. Cleveland 216.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, champ? What's your name? Can you get off? Can you get off speaker?
Big Ed. This is Big Ed. What's happening, miss?
Big Ed?
Yeah.
Big Ed in Cleveland. What's going on, champ?
Hey, what's up? You know, like you, I watched the fight. I wasn't shocked that, Wilder lost in the fashion that he did, but Arum did kind of confirm what Wilder was saying. He said it in his own way, but he kind of confirmed. He said, yes, if you have to walk around with that for 20 or 30 minutes, 45, 50 pounds, and, Wilder don't have the biggest legs in the world, and, that can't weigh down on you, and then that mass, it deprived him of some oxygen, needed oxygen, walking to and from it 20 minutes from his dressing room to the ring, and then the introduction, yeah, that played a part in it. And not only that, a 280-pound man on your back, headlocks, and putting you in headlocks, leaning on your back, and punching you behind the ear don't help either. So so like I said, Tyson did dirty tactics, but he did dirty tactics, what he get away with. And like I said, do I think Wilder underestimated him? Yeah, I think so to a certain extent. But I really believe Wilder, will regroup. He's going after it. He's going to do the AJ thing, and he's going to regroup. I don't know if he's going to have Mark Breland back or not. He probably need to get Floyd Mayweather Sr.,
Big Ed, thank you for calling in. Looks like we got another new caller in New Orleans. No, could be New Orleans, could be Texas, right? I mean, one of the two. I'm gonna say Texas. Maybe Houston. We got Houston, Texas. What's going on? First time caller?
Yo, what up?
What's up, brother? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, this is Camacho from Houston. You got it right the second time. Hey, man. Shout out to DBV, shout out to Independent Media, and everybody join the Patreon.
Oh, that's it, brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate
No.
it.
I just want to say, as a Fury fan, man, I always gave Wilder his props because he always stood up to the occasion. But after this interview, completely disappointed. Completely, I think he completely discredited his whole career. It's just pathetic, man. How are you going to be a heavyweight boxer and not be able to carry 40 pounds on your entire body, your core, your legs, your shoulders, everything? You can't even carry 40 pounds for 10 minutes and 10 meters. Like, I know some friends of mine who are Army recruits who are 16 years old training, and they can carry 90-pound bodies for, like, kilometers upon kilometers. This is absolutely embarrassing. And one last thing. He says that this whole costume, he says he's doing it for Black History Month or whatever. What does that costume have to do with black people and, like, their history and their culture and their struggle? Like, it looks straight up satanic. Why couldn't he just wear, like, a dashiki or something, like, traditional and cool? This is just embarrassing, man. He wears a mask because he hides that he has no talent absolutely at all.
All right, brother. Well, you got to state your opinion for sure. Thanks for calling in, and we're going to Davidian in Niagara Falls. What's going on?
Yo, what's good, Ness?
What up?
Great show, great interviews. I did watch earlier too because I went back and listened to Ronnie Shields. I mean, I don't know. I can't wait. I'm hoping, that's my guy. I've always been a Deontay Wilder fan, so I'm hoping, he can make some, only he knows. He got to be honest with himself. The only thing I hope he don't get rid of Mark Breland, because at least he'd been in the ring, and I thought the stoppage was good because, I don't know, his body and his eyes, he didn't look good Saturday, so I hope he don't get rid of Mark Breland. But other than that, I can't wait to see the fight. Maybe it's see, I'm torn because it's like tune up or do you go right back into it? I'm not sure. That's a big decision that him and his team have to do. But I'm gonna be supporting him. But shout out to Tyson. He did his thing. I mean, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But I look forward to seeing him back in the ring, but at least he gets a chance to fight again.
We going out to looking like 804 new caller 804. Is this Virginia? Virginia, talk to us. Who's this?
What's good, Nas? This is Victor, Richmond, Virginia. First time caller, boss.
Victor, man, what's going on? Thank you for calling in.
Thank you for having me, man, and thanks for all you do for real, man. You get me through the workday so many days out the week. But I just want to say, got nothing but love for Deontay Wilder, and it sickens me when I hear all the hate this man been getting of late. I just look at the fact that Fury has become a star since the first time he stepped in the ring with Wilder, and no one wants to speak on that. I remember when Fury beat Klitschko. Max Kellerman said he was a joke. Everybody laughed at the man and acted like they were so disgusted with Fury. Fury damn near killed himself. And so I look at how Fury has ascended off of Wilder's status, and everybody's calling Wilder a bum. But how do you elevate Fury if Wilder's a bum? I just don't get that. I don't get that. I feel like if you're going to call him the greatest heavyweight because he beat a bum, how do you do that? So, I mean, I just want to hear your opinion on that one, Ness. How do we justify that?
I mean, honestly, we know that it's UK callers, UK,
It's bigger than that, Ness, because it's the real world. It's the real world, Ness. You're smarter than that. So, I mean, you got to help me make sense of it.
Honestly, man, it's not very many people, outside of a selected demographic is how I look at it. I think that I'm with you, I remember Fury being called boring. I remember Fury and Vladimir Klitschko only being 84 punches total landed throughout a 12-round fight. I remember all that. Like, Fury never fought on U.S. television until Showtime invested in him to line him up for Wilder, and until HBO invested in him to line him up for Vlad, and they didn't give him any tune-up fights on those networks. Showtime did, but not HBO. He just had the one fight. The thing is, none of that matters anymore. Like, who made who bigger? They needed each other, Fury needed Wilder because he was coming off of 3 years inactivity, ballooning in weight. He needed to legitimize himself, and the tune-ups that he was doing, Piñeta and friend whatever, those Safari, those guys weren't it. But the public always loves a good comeback story, so they were cool with him fighting those guys. No one was expecting him to face Wilder, and then he did. And, they didn't really give him too much of a shot to win, People would say that Wilder was getting him at the right time, and, they needed each other because Fury didn't want to fight AJ at that time. Not because he was afraid or anything like that. He just didn't want to deal with Eddie. Eddie sent him to me, what seemed like a great deal. $3 million or 3 million pounds for some tune-ups, like shit. He turned it down, but because Eddie had a plan. Like, yeah, we'll give you this guy and this guy. I think he wanted to give him like Tony Bellew, Dillian White, and maybe AJ or something like that. But the point is, Fury exposed the emails, put it out, right, and decided to sign with Frank. And he's always a guy that does it his way, man. He's been with Frank for a while, but he does things his way, and it's been working out for him. But they definitely needed each other. Wilder needed him to legitimize himself, and Fury needed himself to stake his claim back at the top. You know what I mean? It's just that simple. He gets credit for the Vlad fight, but because of those 3 years removed, AJ was the new man in the UK, and this right here has put Tyson at number 1 heavyweight in UK and number 1 heavyweight in the world. So, yeah, man, it is what it is, bro. They both needed each other in my eyes. We're going out to Brandon in Cincinnati. What up?
What up, Ness, man? Salute to you. I see you working. I just want to give a shout-out to Bob Aaron for coming up, clearing up what Max Kellerman said. We might have took what Max was saying out of context. Max might have said, Tyson Fury could easily say, forget that belt, vacate it, and move on to some other stuff. I mean, maybe that's what Max meant when he said Fury has to agree to it. But like I said, it looks like we're going to get a third fight. Hopefully both guys come in, better than ever. Hopefully Wilder works on some stuff. Hopefully Fury doesn't party too much and, get a little complacent thinking he has, Wilder's number and do the Ruiz. So, that's pretty much my call, man. It looks like we're going to get the third one. Shout out to Bob for coming through and giving us the interview.
All right, Brandon, Cincinnati, man. Thank you for calling in. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel right here at youtube.com/ThaBoxingVoice. This is our second or third show today and our second or third interview of the day. And we get all big-name guests, little, small, we interview them all. We get 1-0 prospects. I mean, we just had an 0-0 Canadian prospect on, and we had a Floridian 1-0 prospect on. He just actually turned 2-0, so hopefully Top Rank picks him up. He just had his last fight on a Top Rank card. So if you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, go ahead and do that. Get those notifications. Every time we go live multiple times a day. Normally I'm with my co-host Michael Gross, the boss, but he did have a doctor's appointment today, so yeah, he's not here with us, but normally would be. We're going out to New Orleans. Joshua, talk to me.
I don't get my intro, J-Mac.
Oh shit! I didn't know that was you, champ. I gotta change that to J Mac.
You know how these bitches is in the sport. Total disrespect. Kid has no class, no style at all. I'm a gorilla, I'm a dog. I'm a dog, I'm a gorilla.
The smartest thing you can do is to stay away from terrorists.
It can't be the boogeyman if I'm chasing.
You want to bet on? You bet 100,000 on that.
Let's bet $1 million.
Easy. Let's bet $1 million.
Yo, you shut down Skype for the day or something?
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna deal with that right now until probably like.
Okay.
Cause there's people just muting each other, man, and it's ruining the show. So we're just gonna deal with this when nobody could deal with it. Nobody can interrupt your call. Only I can mute you.
I got you. That's fucked up. But anyway, I came on the interview when Bob Arum said it was up to Deontay Wilder. Can you kind of enlighten me a little bit?
Yeah, because I'll play this audio, see if you could hear it. So yeah, we're doing the show because of Max Kellerman and the fact that he emphasizes that it's up to Tyson Fury, and I'm like, wait a minute, I thought it was up to the loser to invoke the rematch, is what they were saying. So, this is it.
Wilder also told ESPN that he would execute a clause in his contract for a third fight with Fury, hopefully sometime this summer. So it looks like the rematch will happen.
Molly, that's only if Fury also agrees. Fury has to also agree to the rematch.
And thank you. Clearly, that's an important detail.
So they made it seem like, like Fury could get out if he didn't want to fight it. But Bob said, no, Fury ain't got nothing to do with it. Bob ain't got nothing to do with it. Only Wilder could take it or drop it.
Right. I don't know why Max would say that. Like, maybe he thought he can hype it up, or maybe he just wasn't educated, or sometimes we get caught up in talking and just be talking out our own ass and shit and stuff. But if I'm confident in Wilder's team. If AJ could get a rematch after he's lost to Ruiz, I'm quite certain the guys knew what to put in the contract to what Tyson Fury has to honor the rematch with Wilder and stuff like that. That's my first call.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Damn, so is this... Let's see what this is. This must be your brother then. Or not. Let's see. Damn sure looks like a new number. Oh, no, that's New York. Wrong one. That's Albany. We went to Albany. All right, so who's up? Looking like Donald in Richmond, California.
What's going on?
What up?
I'm just sitting around thinking about, like, because I don't think that Deontay should fire Mark Breland. I think Mark Breland's been a great trainer for him. I think that Mark Breland had every right to throw the towel in, because at the end of the day, if you have a trainer that you're working with, and if they don't care about you enough to look at the outside part of the situation and say, this man's in the ring, he looks hurt, he looks like this is a bad situation, at the end of the day, Wilder does have a wife and kids and a family to take care of at the end of the day. So you also have to take that in consideration. So he also should look at that and say, okay, I can understand that. You want to make sure I live another day. You want to make sure I'm here to take care of the kids. Because what's the whole big scenario of the whole situation of how he even got here? Because he got in the game because he figured he could be a journeyman because he wanted to make money to take care of his daughter. So therefore, you have to look at it like this man was still trying to save you so you can be here to do what? What was your goal? To take care of your daughter. So he made sure that you was here for another day to be able to do that. Now, as far as trainers that I think...
Cut it.
Donald, thanks for calling in. Let me see where we at. Don't forget the number to call in, 1-425-569. Shit. 569-5241. Press 1 to voice your opinion. Right here, Voice of the People hotline. All right. Let me see. Sorry for the dead audio, man. I'm searching these numbers. Not easy without a co-host. Rich in Albany, what up?
Hey, great interview.
Thank you,
Second
brother.
time today, so I'm glad you guys. Great show. So I was skeptical. I mean, I was giving advice as to what Wilder should do. I still think he's going to win the next fight, but I want to be critical of Fury now. So you mean to tell me he put on all this weight and he's packing all this extra power and he couldn't really concuss Wilder? I mean, yeah, he did kind of hit behind the head or behind the ear and his equilibrium was off. But that should have been a KO. So I'm kind of suspicious of Fury's power. This was a chance to knock him out. I mean, maybe if the fight went on. But, I mean, Wilder either has like a great chin or Fury's not a power puncher. But, that's my opinion.
All right. Let's go to Mastermind. NO.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you a young fella, and he comes from the Magnolia.
Yo, my bad, champ. I'm solo here.
Oh, nah, unless I just came on, you good, you hear me? You know what I'm saying? Good interview, bro. I ain't heard the whole thing, but I'm glad we got the information we needed because, ESPN, bro, and Max Kellerman and Stephen A. I mean, I really drew Max the chug of Stephen A, bro. He's just a casual, you know what I'm saying? But Max, he gotta do his homework better than that, bro, before he just go to putting stuff out there, you know what I'm saying? Because you got people having debates going back and forth over something that ain't even true, man. But yeah, man, I'm glad to hear that the rematch going down. I'm glad to hear some changes gonna be made, and that's my first call, man.
NO, man, thanks for calling in. We going out to Triple Rank, CYP, what up?
What up? I want y'all to know this. Everybody on this show that calls in every day, we only talk boxing, correct? Max Kellerman does boxing now. He does baseball. He does a whole bunch of other things. He's one man. A lot of y'all on this call and in the chat know more about current boxing than Max Kellerman does. Sometimes y'all gotta step back and say, damn, he's only one man. I'm one man. How much can one man know at one time? Y'all need to give yourselves more credit and stop worrying about what somebody else say all the time and start doing your own research and becoming your own boxing analyst. Shit, we do it every day. Be credible. Secondly, last thing I'm going to say. The reason why Ronnie Shields has so much love for Mark Breland is because Mark Breland learned under Ronnie Shields. When his first job, when he got for Vernon Forrest, he was the second trainer in command under Ronnie Shields. See, Ronnie Shields didn't mention that. That's why he had so much problems with the Wilder camp, but got so much love for Mark Breland. Funny you didn't mention that, my man, but CYP is on the job. CYP out.
All right, let me see. We got a lot of other callers. If you want to speak, you definitely got to press 1, notifying us that you are ready to talk. And it looks like I've gotten to everyone, so I'll get to my boomerangs here. And now, there we go. We got a caller. Let's see who's this before I go out to the boomerang so that I don't got to, get you guys off so soon. New caller. All right. New York City. Let me double check this. Yep. New York City. Looking like a new caller. 347. What's up, brother? Where you calling from? Or ma'am?
What up, Ness Queens? What's going on with you?
What up? What's your name, brother?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Queens. What's your name?
My name is John from Queens, man. What's going on, man? Long time listener, first time caller, man. I want to salute, love the boxing voice, man. Y'all definitely the source over there, you know what I mean?
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. Long time listener. Love to hear that, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. What I wanted to say real quick is as far as like Deontay Wilder, like when athletes lose a little bit of that athletic ability and their mystique and have to rely on their fundamentals. If you don't have always them fundamentals, you get exposed. We saw a little bit with Luis Ortiz, and we saw it a lot in the first Fury joint. I think he might have to go back to the drawing board, man. Maybe get a new training, maybe go, I don't know, Robert Garcia or Floyd Mayweather Sr., whoever. But this is, to be honest, man, he just swinging that looping right, man, and that's he's been exposed, man. So I think everyone needs to just and I'm a Wilder fan. I'm just keeping it in the bundle, you know what I'm saying? And so that's really all I gotta say. And I just want to say, salute to you, my brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for calling in, and I got you down, John and Queen. So we're definitely gonna address you by name moving forward. If you want to call in, the number to call in is 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time to voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. See, that's important that you press that one time though. Because if you press it twice, you put yourself in the queue, you just took yourself right back out. So pressing it once and only once lets me know that you're ready to talk, and then we go straight out to you. We're going to go to a new caller, a lot of new callers today. Looking like we got a new caller in Las Vegas. 702. Who's this?
This is Omar.
Omar, how are you? Las Vegas. Were you live at the fight, champ, or you just lived there?
I just live here, man, but I was there for the fight week festivities. I was there for the conference, the arrivals. I got some great footage, I saw Wilder like an arm's length. For me, it was pretty fun, but I just watched the fight pay-per-view at home.
And what did you think, man? What's your thoughts on the on everything?
Well, I'm a big Wilder fan, always have been, but I know that he can't really box, so Fury's a better boxer, and his whole excuse about the suit and all that, he just got beat down in a way that's actually a question I had for you guys. Was this a worse beatdown than Andy Ruiz over AJ? Which one do you consider more of a beatdown? I would say the Wilder one, wouldn't you?
Honestly, man, I'm going to have to go back and watch it. I don't think so because I've been saying I didn't think so because of the 4 knockdowns. But today, there's a lot of callers calling in saying it was a beatdown. I thought AJ got beat down because he got knocked down 4 times, Wilder was taking punishment, though. And I did a live, I commentated live. And I'm like, wow, they're going to stop it. Like, wow, damn. So I definitely seen them shots landed, man. But I don't know. The other one to me probably was a little bigger.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right, then. Well, thanks for calling in there. I appreciate it. Looks like we got another new caller in Atlanta, 770-880. What up? Who's this?
What's up, Nez? This Intrigue.
Intrigue. What up? Oh, the Incredible?
Yeah.
Oh, man. What up, bro? Let me give you an intro, champ. Where's that? Around here somewhere. Dropping the ball.
Riding in the form with a form, 4 Gianos on my feet, and the paint look wet. Every corner that we been, there's another broke neck. Rolling through the city, swag game on full flex. I know you see me.
Talk to us, champ.
Good show, man. Good show.
Appreciate it.
Good show, man. Yeah, I'm glad you cleared that stuff up with Max Kellerman. I knew that one right. You know what I mean? So we look forward to seeing this next fight. Wilder gonna beat him. He gonna knock him out. I don't know why everybody talking about he took a beating away. I mean, he lost, but to me, it's no different than the first Fury fight. He knocked Fury down 2 times, especially that second knockdown. So it's no different to me. You know what I mean? If he didn't get hit behind the head, I think it'd be a totally different fight. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens this next one. But then the last thing I just wanted to say, man, I don't know what's going on in the chat room, but I see a lot of deleted messages going on today. So that's all I want to say.
All right. Man, a lot of mods out there, man. Mods need to straighten up, man. Let's see. Looking like we got a couple more callers. You know the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget add Nesta Gibbs. Oh, we're not using Skype shit.
Thank God that a nigga seen another day.
Ali and Dago, what up?
What's up with you, Ness, man? How you been, bro?
Oh, man. Grinding, man. We at it.
Yeah, I see, man. You've been doing your thing, man. But look, man, like I know it's about supporting the champ. I'm always support the champ. I love Deontay Wilder. That's my boy. But at the same time, we got to call a spade. You know what I'm saying? Like, we talk about other fighters making excuses after fights, and we hear Wilder making excuses, you know, and, like, it's just not good, man. You know what I'm saying? And then now how I'm not trying to put my boy on blast for all my people who say support the champ. I'm always going to support the champ, but I got to call it how it is. You know, Wilder said how Fury needed all those changes, and it all worked out for him, and now it's looking like he might possibly make a change. So that looks kind of bad on the champ. You know what I mean? But anyway, man, shout out to Deontay Wilder. I love you.
Well, technically, he never said he was firing Mark Breland, and he never said he was hiring any new trainer. You know, that's everyone just saying he needs to fire people.
Okay, well, looking at how it looks, you know, hopefully he doesn't, because it just doesn't look good, man. And like I said, I'm not here to bash the champ. I love the champ, but I call a spade a spade. Like, if you got a family member that's talking some shit, you love them, but if they're in the wrong, they're in the wrong. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is. But shout out to TBV and the LDBC. Shout out, fam.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in. We're going to what looks like a new caller in North Carolina. 336. Who's this?
This is Tim, man. How y'all doing, bro?
Tim in North Carolina. Talk to us, champ. We doing good. Happy to have you.
Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm a Deontay Wilder fan too. You know what I'm saying? It's Black History Month too, so everybody was really looking forward to this fight. But like my man said, you know, Deontay Wilder, we all knew was not a quote-unquote boxer, okay? Which is why I had an issue with Deontay when he said that he would have beat a prime Mike Tyson. That's the really only, like, thing that Deontay Wilder has said through his whole career that had me, like, last night and the night before when Tyson whooped his ass, like, yo, you had that coming because you know you're not a boxer. But the one thing I don't like and did not like in the fight, man, was that Tyson Fury was sort of playing that man dirty. If y'all look at where he got hit in the side of his head on that ear, he was actually punching at Deontay Wilder's neck. Majority of the first and second round, he was not hitting him in the face with each one of them right hands. He hit that man in the neck. And when he missed the neck, he hit him in the ear. When he hit him in the ear, I don't know if anybody knows boxing or martial arts, like, on a personal level. But if we do Chi Sao when you're trying to hit people in the neck, bro. When you hit somebody in the neck, it's a different type of feeling that goes through their vertebrae. It's not like being punched in the face where a pressure point literally sends you to the floor. If y'all go back and look at that, when he hit...
Champ, thanks for calling in. We're going to keep these phone lines moving. Remember, Tim and everyone else, everybody gets a good old-fashioned minute to express their thoughts. Sometimes you even get less when we jump on drive-by, all depending on the time. I got time today, cuz, so I'm around here for a minute. Damn, I ain't even got this. This a totally new caller. I don't even have a row in the book for this one right here. 304, prepare yourself. Please, no Bluetooths, no, Bluetooths and what else? No speaker phones, please. We're going to the 304-834. First time caller, obviously. What's going on?
Hey, Ness.
How are you? What's
Chris
your name?
in West Virginia. Chris. Can you hear me?
Yes. What you said your name was, Chris?
Chris.
Chris.
Did you hear me? Yeah.
All right, Chris in West Virginia. How you doing?
Hey, pretty good. I mean, we watch your show all the time, but we never call in. All I'm hearing today is about Tyson Fury hitting behind the head, all this, that, and the other. But if you watch the first fight, in the 12th round, where did Deontay Wilder's punch land? Right in the back of the head, in the same spot, you know. I think out of 19 rounds, Wilder, I'll give him the 12th, but, I mean, what else did he win? He has no fundamentals, you know. I predict that the third fight will never happen. I don't think it will, you know. But, I mean, that's just all I got to say. You know, keep up the good work. Great show.
Thank you, Chris in West Virginia. Appreciate the call. Appreciate you coming out and, you know, no longer being a first-time caller. Appreciate that, man. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this on YouTube, share the show. It helps get the word out. I love hearing new callers. Always a good thing to hear some new people here on the line. Wow, okay, this one almost so many new callers. You know, it's funny, you know, we're getting so many new callers that sometimes some of these numbers look identical, you know, and then you're like, well, nope, that's a new person. But yeah, looking like we're going to Long Island. Long Island. Yeah, first time caller, Long Island.
Hello?
Yes, sir. What's your name?
Yeah, what's up? My name is T.
T in Long Island, talk to us.
I just want to ask you a question. We know that Wilder is not a skilled boxer. He's a headhunter and a hard puncher, yes?
Yeah.
So what do you say about this video that's emerging online about the fishy gloves of Tyson Fury? Because to my knowledge, isn't this the second time?
I see no such video, brother. What video?
There's a video online. I'll just tell you one source. It's on World Star Hip Hop. If you get some time, check out the video. There's a clip of something funny going on with Tyson Fury gloves. It just came out today.
All right, but how does that affect the fight?
Because from what I understand from watching the video, it looks like his hand wasn't in the gloves, and he almost basically could say punching Wilder with bare hand. In other words, his hand wasn't on the padding like it's supposed to be.
All right, yeah, man, I haven't seen that one. I'll take a look if I ever get across it. If you know, I find a link or something. Oh, you said World Star. I'll check it out. T on Long Island. All right. Well, there you go. I mean, listen. Well, he got the people behind him. You know, if people out here making videos and, you know, people still think he can knock him out, like, he's got the people behind him. That means there's a rematch, man. That means there's interest. Let's see what we got here. Who is up next? Looking like another first time call. All right. Well, this is what I'm talking about. Looking like Rochester. What's your name in Rochester? First time caller?
Yeah, man, it's Night Train.
Night Train. What up, champ?
What's happening, man? Hey, man, I want to first say, man, I appreciate your platform, man. I watch all the time. I just don't never say nothing, man.
I appreciate
except for the comment. Yeah, man, that fight was weird, man. I mean, it's just suspect, man. Deontay wasn't himself at the weigh-in, at the at the press conference, none of that, man. Something ain't right, man. I don't know what it is.
Yo, but people say that AJ had an anxiety attack. Why couldn't it be anxiety? Why can't it be like, yo, this is a big night. There's a lot of pressure. Maybe that guy. I mean, we seen him walking back and forth back in the dressing room. Maybe that got to him.
Yeah, maybe so, man, because he's usually more aggressive, man. More aggressive right from the get-go. You know, it was something wrong going on with dude, man. And another thing is, man, I put it in the comment section, man, that those hits in the ear and behind the head, man, those things can do permanent damage. Ask Gerald McClellan. I'm from the same town he's from.
All right. All right.
Yeah, man, that's detrimental, man. That first blow on the ear, man, that was a detrimental blow, man. It wasn't the same. He went downhill from that point.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
all
not
right,
to mention the
champ.
trips.
The what?
All right, brother.
What you
Thank
say?
you for your time,
not
man.
to mention what?
The trips. He was tripping over his legs and shit.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cuss.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, you know, once or twice is nice. You know, 18 in a row definitely ain't gonna flow. Listen, man, thank you for calling in. We appreciate it. We're gonna go out to what's looking like Seattle, Washington. Talk to us.
Mr. PBC, baby. ThaBoxingvoice.com. I'm the flyest. Canelo talking about he believe he can win. Go to my kitchen, get the sharpest knife, and cut the bullshit out. I don't care what you do good. I do every fucking thing great. Mr. PBC, baby.
Yo, what's up, Naz? Did you get my Instagram message, obviously?
Nah, bro. Let me see what you sent me.
With this stuff going down and stuff, and shit's everywhere. But we have to realize these are some awkward ass motherfuckers and the most, unpredictable fighters that we've ever seen in probably the history of boxing. Tyson Fury has all the jacks of all trades. Deontay Wilder has the, craziest punches that can knock you out. I've been telling myself before this fight happened, even if Deontay Wilder won, you still would have to fight this dude probably like 5 times. The division for heavyweight and the top 5 is so small and that it's so dominant. I just don't see this fight happen maybe 3 more times. People think that this fight's gonna end his career. Dude got 1 loss on his record. I mean, the AJ comparison shit needs to stop. It's 2 different people, 2 different opponents. Having anxiety is way different level. The dude came to America to fight someone that really wasn't expected to win, and Deontay Wilder fought someone that I've obviously said before the fight happened. I told Ness this would be the biggest black against white fight ever. So the anxiety level is different. So I think that Deontay Wilder needs to change. Come at it a different angle. Let's realize how did he get Tyson Fury in the ring, and maybe he can use that to get him out of it.
Stone Bone Boxing, Colorado.
What up? Yeah, man. I was a little disappointed to hear about the Breland situation, man. He can do better than that, man. He ain't got to get rid of Mark Breland. I mean,
he never said that though.
He did say he got rid. Okay. Well, we've been reading different stuff. I guess he evaluating it, but to me, if he was to say that I don't feel like he helped me during my camps or something like that, that's different. But if he thinking I'm getting rid of him for throwing in the towel, what he needs to do is, if he get rid of him for throwing in the towel, that's just not it. Because this dude saved your life to be able to fight the rematch. You could have got beat up to where you wouldn't even able to exercise your rematch clause in 6 months, where you wouldn't even be healthy enough to get in the ring in 6 months. So when you getting paid $10 million more than you just made this last fight, he made 25 million, he probably gonna make 35 million. You needed to be able to get in there and do it. And there wasn't no point of you getting beat up to where irreparable damage could be done. So just forget about it. And Mac, you never heard a winner say, I need to do my rematch.
Stunner, New Jersey. What up?
What's good, man? You hear me?
Yes.
Word. In my opinion, man, I think Wilder needs to sack Mark Breland, man. I've been watching a couple different videos. A lot of people are actually speaking on this. I mean, for one, I didn't even realize. So Mark Breland is a former Kronk fighter, right? And the dude who ultimately convinced him to throw in the towel while Wilder was just fighting a Kronk fighter was none other than another Kronk fighter, Andre Dirrell. Andre Dirrell's trainer is Sugar Hill. And this dude convinced Mark Breland to throw in the towel versus Wilder.
Now, who said that? Who said that?
If you last night on Barbershop Conversations channel, there was a live stream where he was addressing the rumors because Wilder actually came out and said that Mark Breland was influenced by Anthony Dirrell. Then Andre Dirrell called in the Barbershop Conversations channel and he said, no, it wasn't my brother, it was me who influenced Mark Breland to throw in the towel. He was sitting, I guess, right behind Breland, and he was like yelling, throw in the towel, end the fight, end the fight, end the fight. And I guess prior to the 7th round, there was a slight discussion, I think, between Jay Deese and Breland, where there was like a discussion had between throwing in the towel, and Deese was like, Jay Deese was like, no, we're not going to throw in the towel. But it was ultimate.
New caller 267 in Philadelphia. Talk to me. 267. Who's this?
Shout out TBV. This is Olaf in Philly. I just want to say, shout out to the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson Fury. We're taking over the whole sport of boxing. We got Tyson Fury, Billy Joe Saunders with the whoop on Canelo. We got Josh Taylor, undisputed, and Lomachenko. The takeover is here, baby. I'm out. Peace.
Olaf, thanks for calling in. Trey in Oakland, talk to me. We hear that echo, that mean you on speaker. Better be careful driving.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man, these dudes is going crazy with these rumors. And who said what? He said this, and they said that. I just want to know what's going on, man. We got to do a little better with these rumors and the excuses. You know?
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know what. You see, everybody acting like they done lost their damn mind. Wilder lose a fight, man. It's the end of the world, and now they taking over. I guess. But remember, there is a rematch clause. That's my call, man.
All right. Thanks for calling in. Look, I see a few callers there. If you haven't pressed 1, make sure to press 1. I see somebody long distance too. You might want to press 1 unless you're just listening. JP, talk to me.
I'm good on Wilder, Ness. I ain't fucking with him no more. Not because he lost. It's just because I feel like he don't put in the work, man. And I know you could speak on that better, but all the footage I see of you hanging with him look like a lot of low intensity. He doesn't run. And all those things indicate to me a dude that's just not working on his craft. And when you get a guy like me to be your fan and have interest in you with all the other shit I got to do in life, and I set aside emotion and time for you, and you don't work for me, I'm straight. A lot of us come from Mayweather, being Mayweather fans, and aside from all the brash, bravado, and money, Mayweather was about hard work and fucking dedication. And I don't think Deontay Wilder is, and I'm good on his ass. That's my call.
Hey, man, people flip-flopping that quick, man. We got something long distance here. I ain't never seen this before, man. Where you at? Where country you calling in from? I don't even know where to put you. You know what I mean? I've never seen this many numbers starting with a 5 like that. Where do I even put you? My spreadsheet wasn't designed for this long-distance stuff. What's up with that, champ? Let me make some room for you right here. So, obviously, I've prepped you. You know I'm talking to you. I'm hoping you're not on Bluetooth or speakerphone. First-time caller, where you calling in from?
Hey, what up? I'm calling from Mexico.
Oh, Mexico. All right. What's going on, champ?
Oh, yeah, thank God you got my call. Oh, nothing, man. I just wanted to say that, personally, I know it's in the contract about Wilder getting a third fight with Fury, but personally, I feel like Wilder didn't show anything to have a third fight. I feel like Wilder is better off fighting a tune-up fight, his next fight. I don't feel like it's like a wise decision to go straight into Fury again. Like, he looked really bad, and I don't know. I'm just not interested in seeing a third fight like right away. It's just me, though.
All right. What's your name?
I'm Jose. I'm calling from Sonora, Mexico. It's actually like a border state with Arizona. And good looking, man. Good looking for taking my call. And shout out to Wilder and Fury, man. I mean, can't knock any of them. They're champions. And I'm looking forward to whatever happens next. I just don't like the trilogy, man. I'm not feeling the trilogy. That's just me.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in. Let me let me double check here. Make sure my guy. Nope, he's not on, man. My guy Ken Porter, man. Thought my guy Ken Porter was gonna be on the line somewhere around here. All right, now let me go ahead and write this guy in so that we can address him properly. Jose, what up? What's up, Jose? Let me see what else we got here. There's a lot of twos in your number, Jose. Shit, he's gone before I was able to write that down. Ain't that a bitch? Let's see, Jose in Mexico. Yo, I'm all alone, man. It's tough. It's tough to do this alone. Let me see. That looks like he wants his boomerang. I'm assuming this is J-Mac. What up?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna say something for is the Mark Breland being forced to stop Andre Durrell is the reason why he stopped. I think that's just low IQ, man. I mean, this dude been a professional fighter. This dude been in multiple situations. To see that Deontay Wilder was obviously responding bad. The dude was leaking from his ear. He know they was not in the corner, not being able to take care of the situation, and they weren't prepared. And I believe the guy has enough smarts and integrity to stop the fight because he felt deep down inside the fight needed to be stopped, whether he agreed with J. Diaz or not. Bringing up Andre Durrell screaming it, just because he was screaming it doesn't mean the guy got up and said, oh, shit, I better take this fighter's word and stop it. What the fuck that sound like, man? That shit crazy. That's my call.
All right. A lot of new callers. We going out to New York City. New caller 917. Who's this?
What's going on, bro? This is Sheik Toon, boxing trainer from Best Style Boxing Gym, Brooklyn, New York. Best Style in the building. What's up, Ness?
Sheik Toon?
Sheik Toon, that's my nickname.
For sure. And you said Best Style. That's Brooklyn, right? Brooklyn.
I'm from the gym where Mark Breland learned to box, born and raised.
You here to defend Breland. Go for it.
Of course, that's my big brother. I mean, first, I just want to bring clarity. You know, Mark Breland is not from Crunk Gym. Mark Breland was born and bred at Best Style Boxing Gym, the same gym as Riddick Bowe, Michael Bent, and many other numerous Golden Glove champions and world champions. Then from there, he went to Gleason's for a while. But because he was such a phenomenal boxer as a teenager, they brought him over to Crunk Gym to spar with Tommy Hitman Hearns as a teenager. So there was a relationship that was built between Bed-Stuy and Crunk Gym due to the type of boxers we were producing and the type of history that Crunk Gym had. And so Mark made the right decision. He saved Deontay Wilder's ass by throwing in that towel. He was getting pummeled. It wasn't because Andre Durrell or Anthony Durrell told him to do it. It's common sense. You know, we just had a boxer pass out here named Patrick Day. I seen him come up through the amateurs and become a professional. So what Mark did was the right thing. Mark did not born and bred Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder's from Alabama. He walked into J.D.'s gym, and they brought Mark in later on to try to correct some of the mistakes. But Mark was not the head trainer. And who's to say that Deontay was even listening to Mark? You see what I'm saying? So you could be a great trainer, but it doesn't mean that the fighter's going to listen to you. That's the same thing that happened with Emmanuel Stewart and Jermaine Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Emanuel Stewart always told him, you got to get your hands up. You got to correct these technical flaws. And Jermaine Taylor didn't do it. And what happened was he went back to his old trainer. And when he fought Kelly Pavlik in Atlantic City, we was all there. He got knocked out. You know, because he was an athletic guy, but he had technical flaws, just like Deontay Wilder does. So do I think Deontay Wilder could come back and correct those flaws? Possibly. He could possibly do it. You know, but you can't throw my man Mark under the bus. I'm not saying you are, Ness, but the public can't throw Mark under the bus and make it seem that it's his fault. He was there to correct those mistakes because he was a tall, tall welterweight, as Wilder is a tall heavyweight with a great jab and great power. But, you know, at the end of the day, Wilder was a one-trick pony, just relying on the power. And he just got outclassed and outboxed. And with that, I'm going to say peace.
Well, brother, thank you, man. We appreciate it. I even gave you extra time, being as though you from the Breland gym, just so you can bring some clarity, like you said. Let's see where else we're going. Jeez Louise. Callers are pouring in. I'm going to go to a person I know to get a break here. N.O., what up?
Ooh, what's good, Ness, bro? I'm an audio sound, man. I'm on the road, bro.
You good?
I feel like, we gotta get some new information, like, though. I feel like I'm saturated right now, but yeah, man. I think Mark really did the right thing, man. I ain't got no problem with Mark. Mark was a fighter, like I said in another call. You know what I'm saying? He been working with Wilder long enough. Plus, there was a rematch already set, man. And at the end of the day, I would want somebody around me that care about me, man. Care about my well-being, you know what I'm saying? So if Mark made that call, I'm cool with that. And Jay Diaz down bad for not supporting Mark with that. Jay Diaz kind of threw him under the bus. When they asked Jay Diaz that question, he should have said, look, the team decided that we had to throw in the towel. We looking out for Deontay Wilder's best interest. You don't throw another trainer under the bus like that, man. Y'all a team. When you start showing separation like that in the public, that send out a bad sign, man. That show that y'all not one unit.
90 seconds.
You need to check yourself with that, man. Like, when something like that go down, y'all stay together as a unit, man. That's my call.
All right, I know. Thank you for calling in. Man, we got hella callers. Speaking of, we got a new caller looking like Minnesota. Minnesota, talk to us. Who's this? First time caller?
Yo. This is Rob. I was just calling to say, just listening to the chat. Man, it ain't a whole bunch of boxing fans. I've been watching boxing since I was 5 years old. I watch Roy lose. I watched Lennox lose, and he even lost in a bad fashion, the same way Wilder did. 5 rounds to the same rock mount. Everybody's like, "What the hell's going on?" He was sluggish. He was fat, and then what happens in the second fight? He comes back in and knocks his ass out, clean out. Now, be a boxing fan. You should want to see the get back. That's what I'm talking about, Ness. You should want to see the get back. Then we could talk about whether or not Fury is great. Let the rematch happen. Let's see the adjustments. That's what I appreciate about boxing. I want to see the adjustments made and see whether or not he could come get his get back. Then we could talk about who's the greatest. Then we could talk about all this shit. I don't give a damn about none of the circumstances he lost. Now let's get that get back. You feel me? So don't be a fan. Be a fan of the sport. I'm a fan of Wilder. I'm a fan of Fury too. He boxed beautifully. It was a good win, good stoppages. Hey, no caps. All praise to him. Did a good job. But come on, y'all. Be a fan of boxing. You're supposed to want to see that get back. This is what we sit up here for. That's why you paid to see the pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and keep supporting boxing and see whether or not the man Wilder can get his get back. You can't just be sitting on the man got 42 fights. He only got 1 loss. Come on, let's go ahead and see whether or not he can get that back or whether or not Fury is the truth, which I believe he is. But I want to see the shit. I'm a fan. I love the sport. Y'all should too.
Rob, you said Rob, right? I got that right?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
brother.
yeah.
Thank you for calling in. Looks like we're going to another new caller in Toronto, possibly. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Hello?
Yeah, Toronto?
Hello?
Yeah?
Yo, yeah, Toronto. What's goody? What's goody? Is Ness?
Yeah, what's up? Who's this?
Yo, it's Kwame calling from Toronto. First and foremost, salute to you. Yeah, first and foremost, salute to you for getting Bob Armin on the phone. I commend you for that because I was trying to figure out what the hell what the hell Max was talking about. He had me confused and whatnot because I've never ever heard somebody say, "Oh, you need blase before you can get a rematch." You know what I'm saying? You need the fighter's approval. So salute to you for getting Bob Armin on the phone. And secondly, you know what I mean? We were rooting for Wilder. We wanted Wilder to win. So the fact that he lost is unfortunate and whatnot, but we're all looking forward to the rematch. And hopefully it goes down in Vegas Stadium so everybody can get a ticket and we can all take a look at that fight. But yeah, salute to you, Ness. Keep up the good work, and thank you again.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Toronto. What up? All right, so we got a bunch of new callers, and I'm going to have to take a few seconds here, at least to type in this next new caller in the 718. So prepare yourself. No Bluetooth, no speakerphones. Have your thoughts in order. Be courteous to the people behind you because we are keeping the phone lines moving, and we do have a lot of callers. 718, talk to us.
How you doing, boss? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's your name?
My name is Harper, boss.
Harper, talk to us.
Yeah, Harper out of Brooklyn. So real quick, I'm going to be one of the few up here to say that I watch boxing here and there. I'm not a true fan, but before the fight started, I had a fight party, and I'm watching, the road to the main event, and certain things just struck me. If I see it as a person who's not a boxing fan, then I have to be on to something. First of all, you see Wilder training in Crunch Fitness. It just looked crazy. Like, I've never seen a boxer go to Crunch Fitness or main gym like that, outside of his camp, getting ready to prepare for a fight. So that I kind of looked at, he's in there, he's dancing, and he's like, I don't know what he's doing, but he's calling it a core workout, and the dude looked like he was belly dancing. I'm like, yo, what's going on here? So then, fast forward to the second one, they're having dinner at, I'm assuming it's his house with his chef. And I don't know if anybody else saw this, but Wilder said out his mouth, he was talking about power. He was basically saying, the fundamentals doesn't work. He just said, that's why I don't care about fundamentals because it doesn't work. And then he turns around and gets whooped by fundamentals. And, and third and lastly, just to expand on what the partner said earlier about the gloves, when I looked at this video that he's talking about, it looks like Fury was able to slide his fist down from where the padded part was, and where the red tape around where his wrist is was actually where his fist is. And that's why you can see the glove just flailing in the air. But I mean, that's not no excuse. Wilder got beat, but it was just crazy. He didn't look like a fighter taking. It was the first time I've ever seen a fighter train at Crunch Fitness. It just looked crazy to me. And that's all I had to say, man.
All right. Well, as a guy that goes to numerous camps, I kind of invented the term camp life, and Top Rank stole it from me. I've seen numerous fighters train at fitness gyms when they're doing their strength and conditioning, because you can take advantage of all the many weights and cable flies and just all the stuff that is needed for strength and conditioning. The boxing gets done in a boxing gym. Rarely do you have gyms like Ronnie Shields. Ronnie has a very huge facility that he just opened up maybe less than 3 years ago called the Plex Gym. And obviously everything in Texas is huge. So he does have, the ability to have what he has, which is a complete strength and conditioning facility in there with the boxing gym, where it's loaded. I mean, they got everything. You can check my videos with F.A. Ajagba and see how big that gym is. I mean, FA could do, I could do sprints in my gym, but it's not that long. I think we got 30s. That shit is like, I don't know, like 50 yards or 100, maybe 100. It's like a football field in there. You got to check it out. Pretty dope. Let's see. We're going to keep the phone lines moving. Pretty much everyone else looks to be new callers, so you got to bear with me as, we got to get this all logged in this new information. Let's see here. Looks like, yes, new caller in the 201. What's your name, brother?
Jersey, Yonel?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Hey, Ness, how are you? First time caller, yes. First, I just want to say congratulations, Dominicano, representing here.
Thank you, brother.
Your show is amazing. Your show is powerful, man. You speak the truth no matter what. Congratulations to Mike and all the co-hosts that you have. They do a great job. I've been watching boxing for a couple of years now. Yonel.
Oh, Leonel, okay.
So as far as the rematch goes, and I'm not the savviest person when it comes to boxing, it says it's based on like Tyson Fury's decision. In my opinion, it should be like, let's say you're the champ. If you're able to defend the title, like after 5-6 fights, you should be able to fight that whoever beats you. That's my opinion. I don't know how it works. I don't know how, but to me, it's like if I'm the champion, I've been defending this fucking title. Like that's not how it should work, but. It is what it is.
No, he's got a rematch clause. He's definitely got a rematch clause, and we definitely debunk what Max Kellerman was insinuating that it's up to Fury. It's the opposite. We had the promoter Bob Arum on.
Okay, cool. My other thing is I'm a big Wilder fan, and I'll tell you one thing. I love Wilder for his power. He is ridiculous. I think that Fury is just more skilled when it comes to like moving in the ring. The guy moves like he's like a freaking welterweight. I don't know if you agree, but the guy can freaking move. For being 270 and being that big, he can really move. So my thing is, as long as Wilder connects it right, everything is done. And maybe his legs were done, but I felt like even towards the end of the second round, like he wasn't the same. Like his energy wasn't there. I never seen him getting tired like that. Like when he got in trouble in the first fight with Ortiz, I don't know if you remember.
Leonel, that is your time. Thank you for calling in. We got you, so you'll definitely be getting spoken to by name. We're going out to what looks like Baltimore 202. First time caller. DC.
Yo.
What's your name?
First time caller.
Tim?
Yeah, Tim.
Tim in DC, talk to us.
Man, I just wanted to say it was a caller that had called in, and he had said the takeover had started. I was just wondering what you thought, Ness, and I just wanted to say I'm a daily watcher. You keep me fed while I'm at work, so I appreciate you bringing this.
You on speaker, man? I really can't hear you. You on speaker? Did you say what did the caller say?
The caller had said the takeover has begun, and I was just wondering what he was referred to, because he was naming Billy Joe Saunders.
Oh, I guess he was talking about the UK takeover.
Okay. So, yeah, which makes sense. All right, well, I just wanted to say, I think in the rematch, I really do think Wilder does have a chance. I think we're not considering, a lot of different things. I saw some of those videos online. I don't really know what to say about that, but I said in the beginning of the fight, it was a feeling that I just didn't feel like Wilder had fully prepared, like some of the other callers were saying. So that's all I really wanted to say. But yeah, keep bringing us this good work, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. We'll continue without a doubt. So we got through everyone. Going out the Boomerang, CYP. Talk to me.
Yeah, man. This call, I'm running back to back. I don't want to be interrupted, and then you ain't got to come back to me. But this is not for the UK, because I give all credit to y'all, because you don't have to root for Wilder. You ain't supposed to root for Wilder. You can say what you want to say about Wilder. Cool with me. This is for the Americans, especially the black Americans. I love how y'all talking about, I knew it. I don't rock with Wilder no more. I don't believe in him. He got exposed. I find that funny because I can't find no Mexican Canelo fans who said, he's exposed, he's trash, look how Floyd dog walked him. Or Filipino fans who said, look at my man Pacquiao on the floor. Let's make a meme about him and put him on my page and make fun of this Filipino, this fellow Filipino. See, that's not what they do. But when it comes to us, that's what we do. We have a problem, and we think that we cool. No, we just keeping it real. We just keeping it real. Well, dummies, nobody else keep it real.
because it look real stupid. Y'all ain't gonna never learn it. You don't put down your people on a platform every single day, anytime you get a chance, thinking and looking for your keep it real card. Don't nobody care because they don't treat themselves like that, but they laugh at your stupid asses because y'all always keeping it like that. This is where keeping it real gonna go wrong. So if y'all didn't believe in Wilder leading up to this, y'all ain't gotta believe in Wilder on the comeback. I'm gonna take my bomb squad ass. Anybody who wanna roll with me, we gonna roll back to the top, straight bomb squad, believing in our champion. All the rest of y'all who don't want to do it, kick rocks, and you know my slogan. Y'all can EAD. I ain't gonna say it because I don't want to get y'all banned, even though that's not the real reason why the show is getting banned. So you to cut that shit. And if y'all don't like what I'm saying, call in, tell them that you don't like me, and I'll bounce. But it's still gonna be bomb squad anyway. Think about that. CYP out.
CYP, thanks for calling in. Looks like Malcolm, right? Wait, I got this right? Let me double check. Yes, sir. Malcolm in Jacksonville, Florida. What up?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me good?
What's that weather like, man? Go ahead and make me sad.
Man, it's right now. It's raining right now.
Oh.
It's rainy right now. So I mean, yeah, we about to go back into the 50s, but I don't know what y'all dealing with up there. So
Nah, 50s ain't good. See, that's why I never liked Jacksonville. That's too high, man. Y'all still get cold in Jacksonville. 50s, man. We get 50s out here.
Yeah. Now it'll be up and down. So it's been like 80, then it'll be 50, then it'll be 75. It'll be crazy.
Now that sounds
It'll be real
good.
crazy.
That sounds good, man. So what's your thoughts, brother?
Well, I mean, I just wanted to call in because I heard a couple of things being talked about. But one thing, I noticed that somebody was talking about how Wilder don't really practice on his craft or anything like that. I seen some videos where Mark Breland was talking about, I think it was like Laugh at First Sight, where Mark Breland talks about how he tried to get Wilder to throw the straight or throw punches a certain way. And I don't know, I guess he don't do it. I'm not saying he don't listen, but sometimes it just seems like Jay Diaz maybe just kind of let Wilder do whatever he wants. But that's beside the point, man. I'm definitely interested in the rematch. And really, that's it. I've really just been listening, just chilling out, just on the road moving. So that's all I wanted to say. Nothing more to it. Appreciate it, though.
Appreciate you, Malcolm. Thanks for calling in. All right, so we got to everybody, and we got to all our boomerangs, and all we got is this one block caller. Curiosity killed the cat. Block caller, who's this?
Hey, Ness, how's it going?
Hey, where you calling in from?
I'm calling in from the UK. I spoke to you in the past. It was quite a while ago. I kind of got shouted down by a guy who was on your show with you at the time because I was openly saying things about Wilder back then, and he didn't like what he heard, and so that's kind of the end of it, you know? But here we are again, and I've been trying to get through the last few days, and there's a lot of things people have been saying related to, AJ being defeated isn't a defense of Wilder losing to Fury, same way, vice versa, right? Like, they didn't do it to each other, and so it's irrelevant. And it's not, and going back to the first fight, it's a knockdown, it's not a knockout, so it doesn't really matter. It still goes to the scorecards, and Fury won the majority of the rounds. In my opinion, Wilder should have took the 40% AJ was offering, 30%, 20%, anything, because he doesn't get that unification fight now. None of us do. And that's kind of a testament to not just putting this off all the time. They need to do it. They need to get in there and do it. That's how you get greatness. Now he gets to pay money to watch it on TV. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense to me. And he just backs out in straight lines all the time. He never moves his front like, you never move your front foot before your back foot. I know he was hurt and staggered and maybe stunned, maybe disorientated. Fine. Like, if you're hurt, you're hurt. But, like, he does it even when he's not hurt. You know what I mean? He squares up all the time. And that means you can't throw anything for a few seconds. You can't set your feet. And Fury was doing so.
So, Champ, probably why you haven't been getting on is because your number's blocked. You got to try and unblock your number, and we'll be answering that a whole lot more and even addressing you by name. I didn't even take your name down because I don't have a number to store, but good call. You know, everybody gets a minute. You got slightly a bit more. That seems like we got to everyone. I want to thank everyone that did call in and tuned in. I want to thank everyone that hit that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show. You know what though? I'm not even gonna end this. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go ahead and open this Skype, and I'm gonna get Ken Porter on the show real quick. Let me do this, man. I forgot he texted me to hit him up, and slightly busy, right? So let's. Wow, I had that Skype closed, and now I got all these requests from new people. But yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can connect with that Skype and then connect Porter. So I'm gonna hit you guys with some more music. We're gonna do the old-fashioned music while we connect Ken Porter, if we can. It's a possibility. You know how it is with the show business. But yeah, man. Let me go back to this, and I haven't heard this in a while.
Sky's the limit, baby.
BoxingVoice.com.
We don't fight for rings and stuff like that. I don't fear anyone. En este deporte no se viene a jugar y no le tengo miedo a nadie. You don't come to play in this sport. I fear no one in this sport.
Does that mean that you will fight Triple G later this year?
Como lo dije en la pelea pasada, ahorita mismo me vuelvo a poner los guantes.
As I said in the last fight, right now I'll put on the gloves again.
¡Viva México!
Canelo wants to unify all the titles.
When did you realize, Andy, that you could take his power?
Because of the Mexican warrior that I am. I got that Mexican blood in me, so talking about the Mexican style, I just proved it.
All right.
BoxingVoice.com.
Yes. Yeah, ladies and gents, looks like we're back, and we have world-renowned trainer Ken Porter on the show. Ken, how are you?
Doing great, thank you. How you guys?
Oh, man, I'm good. So, were you in attendance for the festivities in your town, or were you busy and away?
No, I was definitely there. I was there maybe, 6 rows back or something.
So,
I was sitting right behind Iron Mike.
Well, the reason I wanted to get you on is obviously you being a trainer, and two, I believe you told me once that you kind of worked with Wilder in the Olympics.
No, I never worked with him. I was in camp for the Olympics. So I was at the camp, when they were preparing before they left, that kind of thing like that.
Yeah, so obviously, being a trainer and stuff like that, I wanted to get your opinion on the fight and just some of these headlines that are all true and swirling around. These are quotes from Wilder. But yeah, we'll start with the performance. What did you think of the fight overall, and what did you think of Wilder's performance?
Let's go Tyson Fury, and let's go Wilder. So I'll start with the good, and then I'll go to the bad. Me personally, I love the way both guys came out and came to the ring. Both of them put on the show. I'm not the one that's going to want to, see that much of a show from somebody I'm working with. I'd rather have them focus on the fight. But for that night, for the energy, for the crowd, for everybody that was there, it was electric, from both sides. It was very enjoyable. It was entertainment. When we got into the fight, it was evident to me from the start of the fight that Tyson Fury said what he said. He meant what he said, which was that he was coming out to go for a knockout. Now, is this the type of guy that could possibly say things to hype up a fight or hype up his performance, or even to psychologically psych out the other guy he's fighting? Yes, he is. So I had doubts that he would actually come out there and try to make an attempt at that. But it was evident to me that he made an attempt to fight early, not to come out, dance around, boxing, try to outsmart Deontay. And from where I was sitting, from my perspective, that first round, he came out and he made his presence known. And, as it went on from there, he continued. And Deontay, I want to say, I'd have to go back and look at the actual tape. I was in the moment of the excitement, but Deontay wasn't prepared for that type of fight.
So obviously when AJ lost, there was tons of questions on whether or not he would retire. Can he win? Can he come back? All those same questions are there for Deontay Wilder. At 34, is he still young enough to come back? And he's definitely activating his rematch clause. Shelley spoke to Warren, and Wilder spoke to ESPN, Ioli of Yahoo, and who else? Pugmire of LA Times, and they want the rematch immediately.
Oh, no. This is just the beginning for Deontay. This is actually going to be the start of the second phase of his boxing career. I don't know how he's going to go about reassessing the preparation and the people that, are in the corner, because I'm hearing rumors about that. But this is now the second phase of his career. A lot of people don't realize and understand what these boxers go through when they put themselves through these camps, through these hard fights, and when they have to take a loss, how they have to come back from it. But in my assessment, this will be the second phase of his career. So you will be starting from a 0 point right now, which, he took a loss. So he's 0-1, and now he moves on to the next phase of his career. And it's not how you fall, but it's how you get up from the fall. It's not how you lose, but how you come back from the loss. I expect him to come back, and I expect him to be successful.
So some of those rumors you're talking about, I got a little paragraph here from Yahoo Sports that says Wilder also said he's upset with assistant trainer Mark Breland for throwing in the towel to stop the fight, and suggested that Breland will no longer be part of the team on fight night. He said he was displeased with the work of the referee Kenny Bellis, who took a point from Fury in the 5th round and went out of his way to congratulate Fury on his performance. Your thoughts on him possibly getting rid of Breland? Like what,
all those decisions. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, what sort of relationship do you and not relationship, but what sort of conversation have you and Sean had about the towel, right? Like, because Wilder is upset, he says, because he told his trainers beforehand, let me go out on my shield. Now, you're a trainer and a father for your son, like, who's your fighter. What do you do in that, scenario?
In that particular scenario?
Absolutely.
In what was going on?
Yeah, you're Breland, right? You got to put yourself in Breland's shoes.
No. In that particular situation, it's important to make sure that the fighter is safe. Make sure that the fighter gets to fight another day. Point blank and simple. If we were in a war and we're in a foxhole together and I'm shooting, you shooting, and we're both shooting, and you get shot, you're not dead, but you got shot, and I'm still shooting, I'm now looking for a way to get us out of here. We got to fight another day. I'm looking for a way, how can I get us out of here? And that's the most important thing, to get out of it at that point, because, you're hurt, and you can't defend, and you can't protect. So, if we two are in this foxhole, you're hurt, you can't protect yourself, you can't protect me. So it's up to me to save you now. If I don't save you, possibly, you die, or, in that scenario, we both die. So we got to get out of that situation. So I applaud Breland for making the move that he felt he should make. I was already on my feet well before that round, doing the same thing. So, and that was me speaking from my mind, but also from my heart, because I've been around this kid. I call him the kid. When I met him, he was a kid. Him and Sean was on the national team together. They won nationals together in 2007. They're both national champions. So, I feel for somebody that is in a situation where it looked like in every aspect, he wasn't going to be able to come back from that. It did not appear that he was going to come back from that. So I applaud anyone who, takes takes that stance and say, hey, I'm going to save my guy for another day. And it's better to do it too early than to do it too late.
And what are your thoughts on Ronnie Shields? We had him on in the earlier program, and he was suggesting that Wilder should not go into the immediate rematch. He feels he needs a tune-up, especially if there is going to be a trainer mix-up or change-up. He also feels he needs to get rid of JD's. He said JD's never put on gloves. He was not helping Breland. He's not a cut man. He said, some changes need to be made in the corner, and getting rid of Breland isn't one of the changes that should take place. What's your thoughts on taking that immediate rematch and your thoughts on JD's?
I don't criticize coaches. I just can't do it because we're all in this same position. So, I don't do that. And speaking in general terms, it has to be the boxer's decision and or management collectively having conversations that should point out positives and negatives of what they're doing as they move forward. So that's something collectively they got to figure out. On the inside, it should be done that way. I wouldn't want to see it get done, just off the emotion of one fight. You were successful all the way here. But beyond that, the common thought process that I have, and I don't expect anybody else to see things the way I see them, doing the way I do them, come to the conclusions or understandings that I do. But my common logic in these situations where boxing is concerned, we've all put in our time. We've worked with fighters. Everybody that has actually worked with the fighter and put in the time with the fighter deserves to be there with the fighter. To what capacity he deserves to be there has to be determined, again, by fighter and also management or the fighters making those decisions. So it appears to me, and it's not being critical, just looking, it appears to me that some time ago they knew that they needed someone who had experience in fighting or who had experience in coaching other than what they did. Then, the coaching staff moving from the amateur to the professionals had, meaning, Wilder's an amateur coach, and it's my understanding that was his amateur coach. So they knew that they needed that. And they had a system where they worked together and it worked good, A guy such as Ronnie Shields, and who I respect a lot, and I respect all coaches. He's gonna be the type of guy. If he's in that situation, he's gonna look and see where your experience lies, and he's gonna make his decision based on your experience. Wilder is probably making his decision based on, at this point, the emotion of the loss, which isn't the best thing to do.
And your opinion on him taking the immediate rematch, should he? Because I just had Bob Arum on the show who said that if Wilder didn't want to take the immediate rematch, that obviously, they would put it on paper that he could get the fight in the future. I made sure to emphasize, because, he said, yeah, of course he could get the fight. I'm like, on paper, though. Like, he's not just going to. And he's like, of course it's on paper. What are you, stupid? He got mad. But, it's important to say on paper because you could just say tongue-in-cheek, yeah, if he doesn't take this contracted rematch, he could get a fight, and then we never get that fight. But what would you do, tune-up or no tune-up?
I would get it on paper. I would definitely get it on paper. Here we are. Team Porter's sitting here waiting to see, what could happen. Not one guy we've ever fought wanted to rematch us. I don't care what they say, how they say it, anything else. And as a matter of fact, I don't even recall not one guy that we ever fought one rematch us. So, yeah, you definitely want that on paper. If it's me, and then, again, they got to make decisions based on the way they feel, what they feel is best for them. If it's me in that particular situation, I would take a step back. I would go back to the drawing board. I would go back to the classroom. I would go back and try to exit the positives and take away some of the negatives from the fight, and also what we previously have done in camp. Did we notice this in camp? Did we see any of these things going on in camp? What were some of the things that we, became stumbling blocks in the camp that we had to overcome? And let's get rid of those and take another fight and make sure that those things have been smoothed out and we've overcome those situations and improve before we get back in the ring with Tyson Fury, because clearly Tyson Fury improved. Clearly Tyson Fury came with a different strategy, and that side, the other side, they may need to take a look at all of those variables and make decisions based on what they need to do to improve. Jumping right back in the fire with Tyson, he's that much ahead of you in experience from the amateurs. So him and Sean won Junior World Championships together, and Tyson won the World Championships that night, Junior World Championships, in 2006. That's how far back this kid had already probably had, I would say, 50 to 75 amateur fights when we saw him in the Junior World Championships. And he was 18 years old. No, he was 17 years old. So, you've got to make it based on what's best for you, but also I would make this decision based on, what was going on in the last camp? What was going on 2 camps back? Maybe 3 camps back? Have we had these kind of issues 2 fights, 3 fights, 4 fights? He has been down on the scorecards in previous fights. Why? Why haven't we improved from that? Why haven't we come back in any of our fights since this fight that we were down on the scorecards, and now 2 or 3 rounds into a fight we're up on the scorecards or at least even? That means you have not, overcome those obstacles in camp, in training. So, me personally, I would, want that on paper. To exercise the rematch clause, I want it on paper, but I also would take my guy, pull my guy back and say, hey, we need to go back to the drawing board on a lot of things here. We need to straighten some things out, and we need to be prepared for everything that he'll bring in the rematch or in the trilogy.
Would you be willing to take that job, or you think that that's something that they need to do themselves because it's just the first loss? Don't shake anything up in camp.
And let me say this, and this, again, there's no point no fingers at nobody in this situation. When it works out and the guy gets a knockout, everybody's happy. So as Wilder has been winning with knockouts, even though he may have been down on scorecards winning with knockouts, nobody was very, very critical of the coaching and the different things that were going on. It works until it doesn't work. So now they've got to make some kind of decisions. That's the same decision you got to make in life if you continue with the same behavior. I work 40 hours a week, Monday through Friday. Then on Friday, I go to the club, I go to the bar, I drink, and, Monday I go back to work, and by Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm broke again, only to get a check on Friday and do it all over again. The definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again and get the same result. It works until it doesn't work. So they got to make decisions based on what's best for them. Me, character plays such a huge part in me working with anybody. This is the biggest part of the reason why I don't train a lot of guys or any other. There's just 1 or 2 guys that I work with, mainly just Sean, but because of the character and the understanding that if you're not able to be the person I want you to be outside of what we're doing, you're not going to be able to be the person I want you to be in that ring. You're just not. I know that. That's my belief. Somebody else may look at it a different way. Oh, he can punch. I want to train him. He can punch. I can train him. Or he can brawl, I want to train him. Or he looks good, he's got a gimmick, I want to train him. Nah, I'll pass on all of that. It doesn't work for me. So, it's a long way from the lip to the cup in a situation like that for me. But, I'm, the type of person that I work on the character. I want to see the person, because everything that we're teaching them to do in the ring means nothing if they go outside of the ring and they screw it all up. So, I have interest in anybody on a high level, because he's made it to that level. Is there something I can offer? Yeah, there is. But pieces got to come together and they got to fit just like a puzzle. And that's everything that they're doing now. And, right now, they got so many emotions running so high. It's just like someone has died in a family. There's, so many fingers being pointed in, and people are sad and people are hurt, and there's people criticizing, and the social media adds on to everything that they're doing, and people in their own camp are talking, and, it's just, and families are talking, and it becomes such a total distraction. The young man needs to go away and go find himself, and whenever he's ready to come back to this, and deal with it, and try not to make any of the decisions based off the emotion. We know what happens if we're angry and we make a decision. It's usually the wrong decision.
For sure. Let's shift to, I was going to say Terrence because I'm thinking about what Sean Porter said in the build-up to the Wilder Fury. He had an interview, I believe it was with Marcos Villegas, where he said that he is actually having that conversation, and it should have already taken place because they both were going to be at Wilder Fury with Terrence Bud Crawford about fighting him. Did you get any juicy details for us? Did you hear if they talked, how they go? Like, what's up?
You know what? I don't even know if they saw each other. I barely saw Sean that week. He was super busy. When I did get to the MGM, I went in like maybe the day of the weigh-ins, a few hours early. I was in the media at the media row and all of that. Never saw him there. Asked a few people had they seen him. Caught up with him later up on the Fox broadcast. Didn't really get a chance to talk to him. I don't know if they actually did see each other. I did get a chance to talk to Terrence. I saw him on Radio Row. We obviously did not talk any business. We just, we're happy to see each other. Again, a lot of these guys I've known for a long time. So, Terrence, since he's about 14 years old, and it was just good to see him. That's it. As far as I know, they didn't speak, or, I haven't spoken to Sean, and he's relayed any information to me that they had.
Now, Sean did say on that telecast that he only wanted a top 5 fighter. So, and that I think he said he wanted to be back June or April. I'm totally off with those, but it could be one or the other. But you should know better.
May or June.
So, top 5 fighter. Your thoughts?
We would love it, but I mean, what are you getting at this point? When let's say Errol's out hurt, Terrence and Sean haven't come together on anything. Mikey's fighting this weekend. Danny Garcia just fought. You're losing a lot of your top 5 guys. We'd love to get a Pacquiao fight. Haven't heard anything to that degree at this point. I understand what he's saying when he says top 5 fight. You may not be left with a top 5 fighter. You may have to fight someone just because you don't have a choice to, anyone else there to fight. That may happen. Or, you want to sit around and just keep waiting for something and it doesn't come. You sit around and you wait and they decide to fight someone else. So at this point, top five sounds good, but top 5 may not be there for you. You may have to take number 10 or number 11 or whoever's there. I don't know.
So often we want our fighters to only want to fight the top 5, but in this case, I mean, with how the landscape is, shouldn't Sean be looking for like the biggest fight instead of the best fight? if that makes any sense?
It's both. It's both. Yeah. Me as a trainer, I only want to fight the best fighter. I don't want him to fight somebody that no one has ever heard of from another country. I don't want to be a part of that. I mean, I honestly don't want to be a part of that. I would not want to be going to camp for 6 to 8 weeks fighting a guy that I have never heard of. Don't want to do it. So, there's
well, the reason
there's that process there.
The reason I'm bringing it up is because Bob was on, and we seen Kell Brook and Terrence Crawford talking to each other at the Fury Wilder fight, and it's just like, that's a rematch you guys wanted. Can't you offer Kell Brook something to come on that side of the street and get that rematch, or is that something at this point that isn't worth the money?
I'd be interested in the rematch. I'm sure Sean would be interested in the rematch. Kell Brook never wanted to fight Sean Porter again. Go back and take a look at the guys he fought after Sean Porter. Go back and look at everyone he fought after Sean Porter. And the funniest thing about that, if you go back and look at all of those guys, if you dig deep, you will find out they were all part of this regime over here. So if you look closely, you gotta look closely. All of them were, and the one that he fought that wasn't was from the UK, which was Frankie Gavin. Then after Frankie Gavin, he went back and he fought somebody from, as you guys call it, our side. So 3 out of the 4 or 4 out of the 5 fights that he fought against everybody over here. Why were we never given this shot? Come on, man.
I mean, I would assume back then, because he had beat you and the popularity wasn't there. But now, Sean's a very popular welterweight. He just came out of a successful pay-per-view. And it sounds like Crawford is going for the Kell Brook fight. You know what I mean?
No, you missed what I said. If 4 to 5 guys that you can't name weren't popular, and we were more popular than them, why didn't we do a rematch?
Yeah, because they didn't need to go back to you, though. Like, why just give the rematch when there's no rematch clause? You know how this game is.
No. I'm not talking. If you know how the game is, and you think I know how the game is, then why don't you speak it out loud? Because it was made to be that way that they didn't fight. Wasn't why he would.
Wasn't
he
it was made
to be that way that he didn't. I'm sorry?
Wasn't he the mandatory? That's why it wasn't no rematch clause?
Okay. Again, we talking about the same thing here. We're talking about fruit. Yours is apples, mine is oranges. It's the same thing. Kell Brook, obviously, you know this, I know this, everybody else that's in boxing knows this, is probably, not at 147 anymore. But if he is at 147, let it be known, yes, we would take the rematch. Got no problem with it. Let's do it on the Fury versus Wilder Trilogy. We'll do the co-main event in one of those Wembley stadiums. Sounds good to me.
Technically, he's not at 47, but like I said, they're, talking about him and Crawford. We just had Bob on, and all I'm saying is, maybe if you guys make him an offer, you can get him on that side for Kell Brook and Sean to do the rematch, since there's nothing really popping out for Sean in the top 5 that he's asking for, unless you guys could somehow do a Danny rematch.
No, I don't think that's going to happen again. He's had his opportunities to rematch that, and that ain't even a win. He wants to try to get back. He didn't want to do that. That's why he fought Ivan Redkach. That could have been for the interim WBC title until the guy who holds the title right now comes back from his injury. But that's not what he wanted. So that didn't happen. I highly doubt that anything's going to happen with Kell Brook. It should be as easy as you would say, or you guys like to say when you talk about it on your shows, but it's never that easy. I can't call it Kell Brook and make a fight. My people are not going to call Kell Brook and make a fight. I know it's not going to happen. That's not. If I'm having that conversation with them, I know they're going to say, well, we'd rather see you fight Pacquiao, or we'd rather see you fight this guy or that guy. So You know, if Kell Brook and Terrence Crawford are able to put it together.
Wait,
what?
You say your people are going to tell you, I'd rather see you fight Pacquiao or this guy or that guy. But if Pacquiao's not saying yes, you don't want to sit around.
Nobody wants to sit around, but if you were sitting in a business meeting with me and you had a choice, you yourself had a choice of telling me to fight Kell Brook or fight Pacquiao, you would be telling me to fight Pacquiao.
Absolutely, but
okay, so just like when Mayweather was fighting, you didn't want to take the fight against somebody else because you might get the shot at Mayweather. So we don't want to say yes until we find out there's a definite no.
So when's that definite
Can't say
no
yes.
come?
Why are you acting like you don't understand boxing, brother? You understand it. You're going to ask me a question. So when it's going to come? Hold up, Ken. I know you don't know because you're not in control of that. You know I'm not in control of that.
I mean, but you gotta have. I'm looking for like a tentative month of like when Pacquiao's gonna make his decision, which will ripple affect your decision.
I don't know. I haven't got that. I haven't heard that. I haven't had that conversation that when he was going to fight or when he was going to make his decision. But if he makes his decision and it's not us, then obviously we have to move forward. And, you know, hopefully we're moving forward to, as you just said, a top fight, not just stay busy or, you know, a lower level fight. We want a big fight, but, you know, we like to get at least one in because, you know, I know Errol Spence ain't ready to rematch us. That's not about to happen, you know. But, you know, we'll see how things go and how they play themselves out. It's the fight before the fight.
Well, man, I want to thank you, obviously, for your time, Ken. You know, it's always a pleasure to have you on. I think you're going to be
Thanks for calling.
No, of course. I think you're going to be in Texas next week, right? Or
What's going on in Texas?
Yeah, for the Mikey fight.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Right.
That's this weekend, ain't it?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
No. We were told a long time ago that Mikey wouldn't fight us, and the other guys said, "Oh, Sean's my friend." No, there's no reason to go.
Man, tough business, I'm telling you.
Yeah. This the hard hustle, man.
I mean, at this point, though, it's not a bad thing for Sean to fight twice a year, right?
It's been twice a year for some time. And really and realistically speaking, as much as media, as I hear you guys saying you want to see these guys fight 4 or 5 times, they can't promote one guy that many times in big fights in 1 year, and they have other people they have to promote. They have other people in the same weight class that has to get fights. So there's no way possible one guy could get promoted for 4 big fights in 1 year. Not only that, he probably can't get 3 big fights in 1 year, because if you just thought, logically speaking, if you started in January and if the big fight was Pacquiao versus Terrence Crawford, Pacquiao is not going to turn right back around in 4 months and fight again against Sean Porter. That would give him 2. Then he's going to turn right back around again and rematch one of those guys or fight another huge fight before the end of the year. That would be 3. Along with that, you got to promote the fights, and you got to have the dates, and you got to have the venues, and you got to have the TV dates available. So it's just not reasonable to even expect that, even if a guy wants to. 4-round fights, 6-round fights, 8-round fights, you can get a guy fighting 4 or 5 times, 6 times a year. But once you get up to the world championship level and also the pay-per-view level, television level, it's not going to happen. He just ain't going to fight that many times. I could take another guy that's unknown and get real lucky and get 3 fights in 1 year with him. And then the next year, now he's moved up to a TV fight and he can no longer be the guy that we can get 3 fights for. So that's just, it's not reasonable from a business standpoint, and also from the health of the fighter. How many fighters turn right back around and go into camp? Well, Wilder just did. That was huge. And now we're saying, hey, he needs to take a little bit of time before he comes back. So
Definitely.
2 is probably about it. 2 is about it.
For sure, for sure. Well, Ken, once again, thank you. I guess I'll see you next time. I'll see you. But always a pleasure to have you on. You know we like to do this more regularly. So I'll be hitting you up.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, and I appreciate your patience with me today because I know I held you up and I expected to be done sooner, but I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
No, man, no problem. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Have a good day.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gents. Ken Porter, trainer of Sean Porter. And, yeah, man, overall, great guy. I thought he was going to be in Texas, man. Damn. All right. Look, got to everybody. So we're going to wrap it up. I want to thank everybody that tuned in. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already done so, because if we go live again, you're going to want to get that notification. I mean, we've been on 2 hours and some change. So, yeah, man, we out here working. Stick around. Subscribe. Get the notification when we go live. There's more to come. Every single day, we are live multiple times a day. Peace.